Okay, I believe we are live. Welcome, everyone. My name is Coin, or Swirling Vortex, or Steven. You could call me any of those things. Welcome to something a little bit smaller. Today, we're going to be playing a ROM mod called the Sealed Palace. How do I best describe Sealed Palace? I put a little bit of a description when posting into the various Discord servers, but I would describe this game as a retelling of the Ocarina of Time. You guys will soon see what I mean when we actually get into the game, but let's just say the start is very, very different. I would also describe the Sealed Palace as being a... I do need to take this text, though. Give me just a second. But I guess while I'm, I'm very bad at multitasking. But I would describe it as a level mod where the mechanics are vanilla. The dungeons aren't too obtuse or anything like that. There's a little bit of tricky platforming. There's a lot of rolling jumps or jumps where you need to line yourself up properly, but outside of that, it's a lot of just unfamiliar terrain, unfamiliar places, stuff like that. There are a couple of portions of the game that are pretty darn cryptic. That's okay. We have Navi. We can cycle Navi's hints using Serious Song as soon as we get it. That's the other function of Serious Song, by the way. It's supposed to help you cycle in Navi hints. And stuff like that. So I'm going to name this file appropriately. Doing this one-handed really sucks. Yeah, it would help if I didn't accidentally move stuff over here. How is everyone doing today? I'm doing okay. I woke up a little bit later than expected. Sorry about that. I took my pulse this morning, realized my pulse was a little bit higher than expected. I went and laid right back down. Next thing I knew, when I woke up, the burping still remained. And I'll talk about why the burping and belching is an extra warning sign in a second, but the pulse was at least gone. So I'm going to finish this text, but that gives us time to, check in with everybody and see how they're doing. Okay. Quiet chat this morning. Understandable. So, are we ready for this? You guys are gonna really like this intro. I could promise you that. I'm not gonna spoil it yet. I want you guys to see it for yourselves. So, as soon as I slide back up in the appropriate stuff I need to keep an eye on the count of 3, 3, 2, 1. Let me get my cursor out of the way. Hello, Coin, wake up. Something terrible has happened. We don't have much time left. Coin, get up. Hey, come on. Can Hyrule's destiny really depend on such a lazy boy? Yes, there are a lot of vanilla dialogue not edits. There's a lot of dialogue just kind of put onto different NPCs, but it is mostly vanilla at that point. So, expect a lot of that. Like I said, this is a level mod for the most part, with only the most necessary of dialogue changes made. As far as I understand, after everything I've observed, I have observed on the Discord and multiple exchanges on that Discord, the Hylian modding Discord, that is what I've come to understand. Between Colonel of Corn, Genosuke, and Shupi when they were still around. I've not seen Shupi on the Discord. I can't even find them on the roster, but I know that they helped with maps. I've been told that the spearhead for this is Genosuke, but I'm willing to bet Colonel Corn, Oh, I'm sorry, I'm doing a bad job. I should be talking about the dialogue right now. Navi was just basically introducing themselves as Navi again. Perfectly vanilla. You might not remember how you got here. The Kokiri have been captured by Ganondorf's soldiers. He nods. Link nods. Yeah, so we're in the actual legitimate dungeon of a castle. We're about to find out what kind of castle it is, but right now, it's just kind of a nondescript castle. Some things of note. Okay, I'm gonna put up the BRB screen real quick. And do something. Give me just one moment. So what did people think about the intro so far? I'm still typing something real quick. I think I'm spelling it correct. Would help if I didn't carrot things I've already gone through and carroted. Okay. So now we just put back up the appropriate screens. I am using a paint image today to just kind of like cut out the unnecessary text. I guess I could duplicate the snips if I wanted to, you know, say get rid of the overlay entirely, but I can't hide the fact that this is on emulation, nor should I really try to hide that fact, so I'm not going to. We have to find a way out of the castle. Head to the tallest tower. The hints are short, relatively straightforward, but the hints suffer from not being timed right. You'll see what I mean when I say that the hints can suffer from some timing issues. If you don't do things in a specific order, if you don't take certain actions in this ROM mod in specific orders, the hints will be a little bit, they won't make sense. It's not that they're not appropriate. Technically what the hints would be telling you is, hey, you missed this thing. Go back and do it. But that isn't how the missed hints are going to come across 9 times out of 10. Maybe we'll get to see what that means in the short streaming series that I'm making out of this. I'll be a little bit transparent. I don't know if I'm going to be doing this sort of thing permanently. Like, I intend on finishing the Sealed Palace. I got my start, and I like to finish things I start. But what I mean is we might not always be playing ROM mods on Tuesdays. Hello, Games Corner Live. Good to see ya. How are you doing? Hope you enjoy your stay, etc., etc. The chat is probably going to look a little out of place in my purple paint square today. Let me know if I need to fix that or it looks awkward. It's going to look... I should say that username in particular is probably not going to look too good with the dark purple on the light purple, but out of all the colors that Twitch allows their users to take for username colors, and that's not a request to change it, by the way. I'm going to run into some color that someone's going to decide to use that's going to make it awful. Right, not supposed to be here yet. So I'll show this off, but I know pretty well where I'm supposed to go. This is the courtyard. I would call this stage 2 of the Sealed Palace. We need to go back on the other side first. As a bit of a not prerequisite, what do I want to say? As a bit of context, the people that I gave the post to before I deleted it, make a scene with the windows, and capture your emulator specifically. Let me try that and see if that makes a difference. Okay, so we'll add a new source. Should be... right. Otherwise, it's the only backseating I'll provide. Okay. So, just as a little bit of an explanation for that, I'm technically capturing my other computer screen off of the capture card. I'm streaming between two computers, so I can't actually capture just the emulator by itself. If I wanted to do that, I would have to technically do like some sort of NDI shenanigans with OBS. But maybe I should do that for this series next time. Full screen the MU, I could try. I don't have the option available as like minimize or maximize, but let's try this. Okay, so not really. At least I could see the chat properly, but I have to tab back out, and then it messes up the dimensions of this. I'll have to figure it out a little bit later. Good lord. This was not how I was expecting today to go. But thank you for trying to be helpful. I appreciate it. Why is this... I have to, like, not un-full screen the emulator. F11 or Alt-Enter is the full screen shortcut for PJ64. Thank you very much for your help. Go back to this. Go back to that. Or Alt-Enter. Alright, Alt-Enter should get us back to where we're supposed to be. And the unfull screen as a result, thank you. I'll figure out what I need to do for this. I'm pretty sure it's just the resolution doesn't match. And my capture card, it's an AverMedia GC553. The limit on its resolution is 1080 by 1920, and I have a widescreen monitor, which kind of sucks. I wouldn't say it's particularly too widescreen. Its dimensions are just not quite 1080 by 1920 or 2544 by something or better. I think that's where the widescreen resolution starts, is 2544. I am a studying biologist. Computers are not quite my thing. I have a minor in computer science, but I can still struggle with them. I'm not exactly the most computer literate person in the world. Hide taskbar? I can do that. Right click this. I don't want to lock the taskbar. Is that going to be... Go to the taskbar settings. Lock the taskbar. Taskbar location. I can put the taskbar location on top. And then we can close this. And have all kinds of other issues. There. Although now I need to actually... This is not going well. Looks much better. I can't hide the fact that this is an image, but at least I've got the, I can at least hide the taskbar. The only person who's going to see the taskbar is me. Let's try actually going through this door. I just forgot the door I went through. Awesome. Right, we actually want to go the other side. I don't want to get caught yet. We are going to get a shortcut momentarily that is going to make, I need to be careful and probably gonna have to push this onto the switch again. It's the only kind of sucky part about the beginning, but that's just switch states. That's not an intentional design by the ROM authors, like ROM mod authors, ROM mod authors doing. Good lord. Where was I earlier? I was trying to provide background for how much I've played this particular project. So, I've nearly completed it. I think I stopped just short of the Ganon fight, and then I had other things I had to do in my life. Finish my school term, that kind of thing. But I know all the dungeons, and I can show out some of the more cryptic dungeon designs later on. The earlier section, I would say there's really only one cryptic dungeon, and I don't want to spoil that yet. You guys are going to love this. For those who haven't seen this before, you're going to love the concept on paper when you get to it. Yeah, the lore. The lore is really something else. The lore is important. What else? Something else. Money. The currency's a little bit depressed, or the economy is depressed, rather. Green rupees are untouched. As far as I know, silver rupees are untouched, and orange rupees are untouched. But blue rupees are 3, and red rupees are 15. The easy-to-get rupees have been depressed, with the exception of the green. Inflation, exactly. Inflation, well, what? It could be worse. I mean, it could be Master of Time. It could be, you know, the red rupees are 5 and the blue rupees are 2. I think I remember the last Master of Time. I think I was playing the revisited version, and I believe it was still 1, 2, and 5 over there. I definitely preferred this level of depression. I get it. The rupees are just easier to come by. There are a lot of chests, and especially in vanilla, you gotta place those chests somewhere. I think a lot of the earlier portions of the game are also hard-coded. I know Kakariko Village is an example of where the game has hard-coded, like, coordinates and stuff. I think I remember seeing that on the specific channel for the Sealed Palace in Hylian modding. I think someone described how the Kuko Pen had coordinates and Anju's like modeled to register those coordinates. I know some of the stuff happening under the hood, but I'm not a modder. I'm not even close to one. I've just been paying attention. So here we are. Here's the other courtyard. This is the way we're supposed to go. I recommend just heading straight across once you come through these doors. There's a number of doors you could take to get here. I happened to take the one in which I went through on the second floor and made my way around. Let's quickly get in here before the guard catches us. I'm sincerely hoping that everybody is going to enjoy this shorter playthrough. A little bit of background and context for who I am as a streamer normally. On Twitch, on every Sunday, we stream Elden Ring, specifically a mod called Elden Ring Reforged. It's a very, very lengthy action RPG, and we just got finished with Mass Effect 1 out of the Legendary Edition port on Wednesday. So I stream a lot of lengthy RPGs. So this is actually something that's kind of out of my wheelhouse normally. It's not that I don't play these games. I play them on my own all the time. But that is not what my streams are known for. And I'm something of an Elden Ring channel myself. I used to be a Dark Souls challenge runner. I wasn't very prolific, nor did I make it very far, but I did spend a good chunk of time on Twitch doing this. This is just to provide some kind of background for my technical gaming skills. I also do randomizers in my spare time, so I know my Zelda very well, but I am not a speedrunner, and I do not know my glitches. No hessing, no hover bomb jumps, nothing of the sort. We got our Kokiri sword back. Cool. We obviously can't kill these guards. They are the Hylian guards, but what we can do... We have a couple places we could go. Trying to think... I think we should gather some supplies next. We're gonna need the rupees, and we're going to need the sticks and nuts that result out of, I hope my cursor's in an appropriate place. I'm paranoid about that stuff. Yeah, we're gonna need a lot of supplies. Yep, and nice skippable text. I love the fact that you can skip this stuff. We're probably going to go for about 4 sticks, I'd say, and something to the tune of 10 to 15 nuts. I'd like to have plenty to work with. And for those who are uninitiated into Ocarina of Time, Deku Nuts, while not like one of the major items, are stupid good. They kill berries, which we'll find later. B-A-R-I-S, if I'm using plural. Let's map these. They will get Deku Business Scrubs out of the ground. The Business Scrubs are vanilla, by the way. So there's like at most 1 or 2 we're actually going to need to visit in the Sealed Palace. What else? They can stun Stalfos. They can stun Lizalfos, Dynalfos. They can do all kinds of stuff. I don't know how useful they are in the speedrunning world, though. Someone will have to tell me that. I've watched a couple of ZFG streams. I've never seen him... Oh, God. That might have been... Well, we can get the rest of the sticks later. I nearly got caught. Wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. Let's check out this crystal switch. I know where it goes, but maybe someone else doesn't. I think this is going to let us go up the floor. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, for the uninitiated, those statues down there are Armos statues. We normally can't hit these with our sword. This has been changed in the Sealed Palace. There are some places that are locked by Armos statues we have to kill, and we don't have the Master Sword, so these technically just get around their defense. If I think I understand that correctly, someone will have to let me know if that isn't the case. But if I remember the discussions in the Sealed Palace channel, I believe that's how they work. Or how they work here. But there are other tricks to defeating Armos. I'll demonstrate one of them now. You can stun them with Deku Nuts, and then just hit them once and they're dead. You can also strike them, I believe, 4 times. Never mind, just once. I remember having to strike some multiple times, but that might be in later dungeons. That should be a key. This puzzle we can't do until we have Din's Fire, and there'll be another puzzle a little bit later that we won't be able to do until we have the Slingshot. Guess which one of those we're going to be getting faster. And I'm going to laugh at anyone who says Din's Fire, because this isn't the Master of Time. We don't get fire arrows quickly, and they're not like puzzle-driven, not in the same way anyway. Again, this is a level hack. Or a level mod. That's mostly what the Sealed Palace is, with some lore. Hi, yes, we needed to go over to the opposite side, but I'm fine enough getting locked back up again. We want to go back for something real quick before we go over there. There's going to be a Skulltula in this room. A golden one. There are 100 of them. This isn't Gold Quest. We don't have like 200 of them. Just 100. And I'd like to give the mod authors credit. They've placed them rather well. They do ask you to make some jumps to get a lot of them early on, but you don't actually, you'll know which ones you need a hook shot or a boomerang for. TSP, I'll kind of shorten the name now, also has an adult section. Again, it's not Master of Time. It's not just locked into one age or another. I think the missing link is one of the other ones that's out there. A rather short ROM mod. Where is the guard? I hope I'm not about to get caught again. Okay, he just went over that way. So, if it hasn't said so already, I'll go ahead and mention it. We're in Hyrule Castle. Really cool. Really cool place. You never get to see the inside of this thing except for, you know, meeting Zelda, and when it becomes Ganon's Tower. So, I think it's really cool to see an imagining of Hyrule Castle, what it would be like in the inside after Ganondorf has taken it over. I give huge props to Genosuke, Colonel of Corn, and Shupi for all their hard work. I mean that with my full sincerity. The music track is also great. The ambient music is to help accentuate the fact that this is a stealth mission. You're trying to escape the castle. It doesn't get in your way. It's not overly mystical or anything like that. It does its job. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. Where am I wanting to go? I actually now want to go back in the other direction, because we have one more chest we gotta get. We actually have the tools to do it this time. Hello, Sir Guard. I guess I'll show this off while we're here. You escaped? Be careful, Coin. We need to be quiet, or else the guards will catch ya. Those soldiers burned down the whole village. Saria mentioned that she left her ocarina in one of the castle gardens. Okay, that's a little faster, thank goodness. I've seen a lot of LPs of this on YouTube, and let me tell you, the number of times I catch in the initial segment... Dang it. I was doing so good, too. I should have been paying attention. Someone will talk to that Kokiri over there to get some information, and it's a surprise guard jump scare as they get thrown back into the cell. It's hilarious when they find it. Streamers and content creators of all stripes are usually frothing at the mouth when this happens. wondering how they got caught, why the guard didn't stop moving. I think it makes a lot of sense why the guard doesn't stop moving. They're guarding the castle dungeons. It's what they're supposed to do. I think it would be a little bit immersion breaking if you didn't, if the guards were standing stationary for that. I get gameplay considerations, but gosh darn it, I like immersion in my game titles. 35 minutes in, and we haven't left Hyrule Castle yet. I wish I could say we're making good progress. I'm a little bit behind where I expect to be. That's mostly because I've gotten caught more than anything else. And we spent maybe 10 minutes trying to get the emulator to provide a better viewing experience for you guys. My apologies about that. It's just kind of how my setup is. I'm streaming my second computer through a capture card. Why am I doing this? We need sticks. I'll figure out how to make the whole NDI thing work if I'm gonna be streaming this. You guys have my word on that. Hello, Sir Guard. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. I think I got I think I couldn't catch the micro sneeze. I think I caught the real first sneeze. Oh, hey. You know, like that Kokiri said, guess what? We have a fairy ocarina. Unskippable text, but that's fine. Oh, but this is a little bit different. We have the whole D-pad thing going on, like what you see in the randomizers. D-pad down will whip out the ocarina. I'll demonstrate that now. The rest of that should be vanilla. You can bind it to one of your C buttons and play it like that, or you can press D-pad down if you've got a fancy controller like I do. The ocarina gets to stay up there, though. All right, let's get up here and let's get to getting out of this castle. With the current tools we have on hand, we really don't have any means of exploring the castle further. So once we meet Zelda, we're just gonna get out of here. And I can't believe I nearly fell trying to get out of here. I am curious about how long this ROM mod took. I know some of the, what do we call those things in vanilla? They're the gravestones with the Eye of Truth marker on them. They will give you, they'll give you little snippets of stuff happening behind the scenes. Usually it's like 1 to 2 sentences. Or some of them contain gameplay hints. I'm gonna finish my sentence real quick and then open the store. I know some places took like 2 hours, and some places took like 4 or 5 days. But I would be curious to see what aggregate total for development time the game took. I've heard quite a few figures. Maybe I'll look that up on the Discord during break. Hello, Zelda. Yes, draw your sword, Link. That's really good etiquette. I've seen you. Let me see your face. You're the one from my dreams. 10 points to anyone who could guess that non-related line I just threw in. I still need to make the channel point video to put on between. Not an Oblivion reference. Total. You hit it right on the nose. Games Corner Live. I am a miniature Rolodex of games I've played over the years, and Elder Scrolls Oblivion was one that I spent a good chunk of time playing. Listen to what I have to say. ... Sure, Link, are you ever gonna walk forward, bud? We don't have much time. Saria mentioned that you would be coming. A bit of telepathy, no doubt. In my dreams, I saw dark clouds, evil pouring across the land, and the forests burning. I believe that bit of the dialogue is not vanilla. That's new. I think at most that changed maybe 1 or 2 words. I believe that the 2 court advisors are the source of this ominous feeling. Oh, we have court advisors. Even my father has been caught in their evil schemes. But I think we can do something. What do you have for us, Zelda? Take a look at this story passed down by the royal family. I always did appreciate this little book. It has a picture of one of the painted scenes out of the Wind Waker. That was a really nice touch. Oh. Nice monochrome coloring. I know where we are, but I'm trying not to spoil it, is why I'm saying these things. Coin. The evil will continue to spread throughout Hyrule unless we seal it within the sacred realm. Hello, Sheik. The 6 sages will assist you in stopping Ganon. In order to awaken all the other sages, you must become even more powerful. You must travel over mountains, underwater, and even through time. One of the more cliche things, I think, that was that like a dialogue merge between 2 separate dialogues? I know the whole over mountains and underwater bit was in a different set of dialogues. I will teach you the song passed down by the sages, the song to return you to the Temple of Time, the Overture of Light. Simple 5 notes, new song, I like it. The Overture of Light is quite possibly one of the best songs ever. Like, in terms of TSP. And probably just with Ocarina of Time's sound fonts altogether. It's one of my favorites. I remember a few times playing through this where I would just whip out the Warp song and listen to it for like a hot second. I believe there is a playlist on YouTube as well containing all of the tracks. I don't know if they contain the Warp songs, but if they do, this is the best Warp song out of all of them, in my opinion. You've learned the Overture of Light. As long as you hold the Master Sword, you hold time itself in your hands. We don't hold the Master Sword yet, Sheik. Is this a premonition? Coin, I hope we meet again. No think fast, no nut attack. I'm very pleased with that.
Hello.
Hello, Coin, please wake up. Did Zelda put us on the bed, or did we just end up there? I don't know which one. I shudder to think that Zelda took a boy her size, put him on the bed, and then left. I might make coffee during our breaks. Too much to drink. Clearly. You collapsed after reading that book. Maybe that book has some alcohol in the pages. You know how some people like to create the whole antique page effect by pouring coffee on the pages and letting it sit out in the sun to dry. My sibling used to do that for some of their school projects years ago. Princess Zelda already left. Do you know a way we can get out of here, Coin? I do. We were just taught that in our dreams. Clearly. We're gonna get that chest, and then we're gonna get out of here. And then the first thing we're going to do is... well... await or see the world that awaits us, I guess. We don't have any other reasons keeping us here. And, you know, this isn't your typical RPG or anything. You can't, like, interact with the shelves to peruse a random book. That's not how it works. Alright. So good. I love this song so much. I know everyone has a favorite, and this is mine. And I hope the devs had fun when making the music tracks. They had to have known they were going to make some bangers out of these. Oh, the Temple of Time has seen better days. That is sand, right? I know it's sand. Wow, Coin. This must be the door that seals the sacred realm. There appears to be 3 markings and an inscription on the plaque. In vanilla, we don't get here until we go to town, and we spent about the same length of time in the castle as one would do going to a dungeon in vanilla with the Deku Tree, beating it, going out of the forest, and then making our way to the castle. This took about the same amount of time, about 45 minutes. And I could probably do it in under 30 if I know what I'm doing. Let's read the plaque. There are 3 hollows and an inscription here. Ye who own 3 spiritual stones, good lord, stand before the door of time and play the Song of Time. That is how the inscription reads. Vanilla requirements, 3 stones, Song of Time, and we'll be able to go past to get the Master Sword. I assume that's what's waiting for us. Yes, Navi, what do you have to say? You will have to find a way through that desert. I've heard that there is a town to the east. Shh, Navi, don't spoil it. So, this, we can't... if we had bombs, we could probably get up here. I do not know how to hover bomb jump, nor do I want to find out. I think it spoils the pacing if I were to break this with hover bomb jumps. But we're meant to come back here as an adult and leave out that way. Let's just head out the crack in the wall here. Not crack, a hole in this wall. Haunted Wasteland. That is vanilla, but the configuration is very much not vanilla. I'll take just a moment here to go over the map. For the most part, the map... actually, this is a custom map. I take that... I'll take back what I was about to say. So, we're here in the Haunted Wasteland, and I'll show some of the architecture that's here, and I'll paint you guys a picture. Those of you who don't know that picture already, that is, of what exactly happened here. There's all kinds of locations here. Our goal is to probably get to Castletown, but we have the mountains, we have the ocean off to the right, we have the woods in between them, we have the ranch, we have East Coast, and we have a location that's entirely off the map that we could go to later. The map is really cool. I appreciate the effort that went into a map. You could have just... people could have, like, garboed that out of existence. So, this is the building for the Temple of Time. It has seen much better days. Looks like it was caved in, even. Here is where the steps to the Temple of Time would have been. Once you come out here, there would have been a building for the mask shop. And here where the 2 shops, the other 2 shops are. Bazaar plus the potion shop. I think you guys can tell that this is, you know, what Castletown was once, and now it's gone. Oh, hello. Sir Skulltula, you are coming with me. I am missing the count text already from a randomizer, but that's fine. I'm spoiled on randomizers. I've been playing both the Ocarina of Time randomizer. I've been playing the Dev R branch, as well as the Dev Fennel branch for a little while. I've also played the combo Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask randomizer, different kinds of features there. And I've been checking out Ship of Harkinian. Those are all three really cool ports. They're great, but I'm a little bit spoiled by them. I believe we've gotten the only Skulltula we can find here. So let's head out into the desert. This would have been the castle gates. So here would have been where Hyrule Field is. And it is now Wasteland. Whether or not it was like this already, according to TSP, or it became the Haunted Wasteland, is something I hope to find in one of these, Eye of Truth gravestone markers. One of these Sheikah stones. That's what I'm hoping they'll tell us. In a previous version of this game, I'm playing on version 1.3, the latest one. The fog effect was really quite severe. You could hardly tell where you were going. I'm glad that it is mild. It's like been milded out here. Good lord, I'm stuffy. And there would be music, but we arrived at nighttime, so there is no music. Sorry, I'll attempt to make it daytime as soon as I'm done giving you guys the tour of the place. In version 1. I think the signs were added in version 1.2. Someone will have to correct me on that. But Castletown has signs that tell you where to go. The townsfolk here must not know that the Kokiri are being imprisoned. Maybe we could ask around. Probably. Probably, Navi. No guardsman either? There's usually one right behind us, but I guess he's a daytime guard. So, Castletown, has 4 exits. We came out of the one that leads to the desert, so we would say this is the western exit out of Castletown. Here we have... Oh, do I want to spoil it? I'm giving you guys the tour, so yeah, I'll go ahead and mention it. This is the museum. We can find a cool treasure in there. A minor one, but it's cool. We have some apartments over here. Some apartments over here. We have the potion shop over here in a 2-story building. We have a mansion whose contents I'm not going to spoil quite yet. And then we have a loiterer. This is where the loiterer ended up. Hello, loiterer. What do you have to say? Hey, what's wrong with loitering around all the time? Huh, kid? I don't know, you tell me. It's usually illegal and, or frowned upon in many establishments. But it's outdoors, and the house appears abandoned anyway. Go wild with your loitering. Trying to remember. I believe out this way is the castle. So this would be the eastern entrance. Let's see if I'm right. We can always come back in the castle into Castletown real quick. Outskirts. We are... Oh goodness. I think this is an eastern side. But I guess while we're here, I'll go ahead and show you that this is where the Kokiri shop is. It's only available at night. Oh, goodness. I bet people could probably guess why. It probably has to do with something, imprisoned Kokiri, something. Welcome. We sell shields, but not swords. Vanilla dialogue. That's fine. We're gonna buy a shield. Deku shield, switch to the equipment subscreen, press A to equip. No, we don't need anything else. We have everything we need so far. We're gonna equip this. And now we can shield drop whenever we want. I use shield drop quite a bit. It's about the only piece of speedrunner tech I'm super familiar with. It's really not hard to figure out once you play around with the buttons that you can shield drop stuff, but I know it's kind of used in the speedrunning community quite a bit. I guess I would class this as the northern entrance. Let's finish taking the tour. Once we finish taking the tour, I'll go on break, and then we can explore some of the buildings in way more detail. You can get on many of the rooftops here. I recommend trying to climb around and find out at least once or twice with Castletown. It's really cool to just get these different perspectives in Castletown. This is something you could never do in regular Ocarina of Time, and even in 3D, you would never be able to do it. I'm super happy with Castletown. So here... Yeah, I think I mistook the northern entrance for the eastern entrance. Maybe. Because here we have Castletown, and you go up north and you kind of go around and out east and further north to get to some of these other areas. I could be wrong, though. I'm open to being wrong. And then over here is where the East Coast is. He managed to escape the guard's clutches and is now trying to pawn off wares to bail out his fellow Kokiri. So that is the lore, is it? That's really cool. I wish that Kokiri luck, but he's got to know that's just a vain effort. The guards aren't gonna let the Kokiri escape. I think there's even a stone that says the Kokiri will always be fated to misfortune. So it's kind of like a prophecy. And if it's a prophecy that becomes true, then maybe kind of makes sense. Yeah, that is a very good explanation for it. It makes a lot of sense. Trying to think of which way I want to go. We are in daytime now, so there's a specific guard we should go talk to. He's gonna be up here. No, he's not. Okay. Where did that guard run off to? Did he get moved in 1.3 and I just never noticed? Shrug. That's okay. We can figure stuff out without him. That's fine. Hello, bearded sir. You have a very luxurious beard. Ahem. This beard is my pride and joy. Doesn't it look luxuriant, kid? It looks big and bushy, I guess. It's got a chiseled appearance, but I don't know if I'd call it luxuriant. We don't have the correct polygons to get a better look than that, sir. You'll have to take my backhanded compliment for what it is. This is the guardhouse. Hello, Sir Guard. Ding dong, ding dong. I'm a clock soldier of Castletown. I always thought this NPC was a little bit silly. The current time is 07:46, so 7 in the morning, almost 8 in the morning. Got it. I hope that one day I could work at Hyrule Castle and serve Princess Zelda. One of the noble ones, I'm sure. They won't let me go up there to even visit anymore. I wonder why. I tried to get the king's permission, but those two advisors wouldn't let me see him. It's like they've got the whole castle on lockdown. You have some observational skills, sir. The observational skills are just a few eggs short of a carton, I guess. Weird if you ask me. You know something, but you're not doing anything beyond being in your station or post. Maybe you've got a family or something that makes life hard for you. I don't know, but that's one of the better guards to talk to. I find the whole clock thing silly, though. That has to be vanilla. Have we found Greg the Green Rupee? Alright, up here, I'm going to teach you guys, those of you that don't know, about textures in this game. I want to make sure I get this correct. Otherwise, I'm going to look like an idiot trying to do this 10 times in a row. Textures, you can climb these ropes. This probably isn't immediately intuitive to the people who are just kind of exploring the Castletown in the game for the first time, but note that you can climb ropes. This is something that comes into play A little bit later, before you reach adulthood, there are some locations that make you climb ropes. That's about as much as I want to say. And just like that, those 40 rupees we spent on that shield, utterly worthless. The only difference between the Hylian shield and the Deku shield, other than, you know, turtling it up, and as a child, is they can both shield drop, which for my purposes makes them identical. It's the fact that the Deku shield burns in fire. That's vanilla. And you can't do many glitches with this overhead shield that you can't use one-handed. It's more of a deal for speedrunners as far as I understand. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna not be a fool and quit climbing ladders. This isn't Chutes and Ladders, Link. Yeah, we can get up on the battlements. Really cool. We can even do this. You can climb on and walk on many of the roofing tiles that are here. I highly recommend experimenting, just checking out where you can and can't go. That's how I played TSP for the first time. I just did stuff until I found where it was I was supposed to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you guys with a rather, I think, a good view of the city. I take breaks about every hour. Definitely feel free to stretch. I do run ads. I only run ads during ad breaks, and I always schedule them. I'm going to put up 90 seconds of ads. I'm going to go stretch my legs, probably get the coffee going, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes. See you guys after this commercial break, and thank you to anyone who's sticking around watching ads. I really appreciate it. Helps keep the lights on, but I don't blame you if you want to stretch your legs. Sorry about that, folks. I took a little bit longer than I expected to get the coffee going. Once it made, but I had to pour the water and do all the other usual maintenance things for the coffee. Speaking of which, anyone who's stuck around so far, thank you. I appreciate it. I try not to make a habit of being over break, but sometimes it does happen. Typical engagement question after our first hour. Coffee. Like it black? Like it with creamer? Like it with fancy things in it? I'm a person who likes coffee with their fancy things. I find coffee too bitter to drink without creamer and or sugar. Just too much. So I only drink it when it comes pre-prepared, or, you know, I get the liquid creamer I like myself, and then I start drinking. Other than that, the only other format I usually tend to drink it is either in preparations, food and such, or, like, frappuccinos and frappes. I don't like the bitterness of coffee. And yes, I know cold brew is less bitter, but on average, but I'm finicky with cold brew. I don't always like it. Alright, where were we? Tour of the town. Right. There isn't really much reason for going up to the top of those battlements. There might be a Skulltula we can get. Actually, now I think about it, I think one of these does have a Skulltula we can grab. A golden one. I wouldn't just, go out of my way for Waltulas after all. Or, you know, our soft-bellied, white-faced brethren. I most assuredly would not be going for those. Let's figure out which one this is. If I remember correctly, it should be this way coming out of the guard tower, but I could be wrong. Our ultimate destination is the graveyard. We don't have the guard to rely on to tell us where to go, so I have to be a little bit forthright with that. But we're gonna do everything else we can first, before going to the graveyard. You can reach that with a jump attack. Nice. Skulltula rewards, as far as I know, are vanilla. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So we're gonna at least get that many. I'm gonna try to go for 100%. Knowing full well that our reward is a giant, fat, repeatable orange rupee, but it is at least something. We have found the Skulltula in question, so I'm going to get off the battlements now. What was that? I know what it is, but I can't respond to it. I have to be on break to respond to Discord messages normally. I don't like having to do that. What I did during the initial sections is break. Figuring out whether I could or couldn't post in Hylian modding Discord. I really appreciate the feedback on that. I talked to Agaker about it. I hope I'm saying that name correctly. I talked to him about it. I had a little bit of a kerfuffle about it in the Hylian modding general Discord chat, where people are like, just post, dude. I'm like, no, there are rules. I'd like to follow them. And everyone has different levels of tolerance of what they do and don't want to see in their Discord channels, like in their individual chat channels. So I like to ask these things. My server or many other content creator servers have a specified place for that stuff is supposed to go. I'm a very rules-oriented person. I like to know that I'm not going to get thrown out for doing something. I realize that makes me a little bit stiff compared to my peers, but it's kept me out of trouble. It's following the rules is just generally good practice, so I do it. Hello. I think it's a recovery heart in here? Sure is. Whose house are we in? I will say, some of these NPCs are quite hilarious to get a close-up look on, mainly because in vanilla, you're really not intended to get a close-up look of their face, so the dimensions and such make sense, but here, where you can look at all their faces individually, some of them just look wrong, for what it's worth. Hello. Why are you dithering about at the waist, lady? flattering view. Have you seen the mask collection in the museum? I have been meaning to tour that. I hear that up in the mountains, there lives an artist that made those eerie masks. They say that he lives alone and has been alive for more than 100 years. I would like to be alive for at least that long. Creepy, right? Yes, Navi, what's up? We should pay respects at the graveyard. Yeah, Navi is like your main gameplay hint recycler. She is the NPC slash fairy that you're supposed to rely on to be like, hey, this is where you're supposed to go. Now, Navi, I appreciate you, but we are trying to explore. We will go to the graveyard eventually. There isn't that much to do here. Most of what we need to engage in a couple, or not in a couple. Let me try less word salad, maybe. This well, for instance, we need a specific song for that. We've gotten the shield already out of the guardhouse. We could go to the church. We can go to the museum. There's like 1 or 2 things to do in each building, and then after that, that's it. You're gonna spend the rest of your time outside of Castletown, and just discover things as you make trips back and forth. Welcome to the warehouse. I'm gonna show something that I normally don't do in my playthroughs. You can get on top of this kiln with a backflip, or furnace, excuse me, it's a furnace. I believe we cannot do that. This warehouse has a silver rupee puzzle. I don't know if you guys heard that, but we do have a silver rupee puzzle in here. And yes, they put a silver rupee in the furnace. Quickly, get into the tunnel. Jeez, I don't want to be baked Kokiri. This isn't Master of Time. I don't want to be, baked. Where is the Metroid Prime, 2 Google Translate reference where I need one? Or like the whole premise of the thing is that we're inside a giant freaking oven, and the Luminoth are here to bake us. Something like that. I'll have to do... I did do a sort of a Metroid Prime Google Translate thing once. I maybe made it 3 episodes in, and, you know, I had to deal with school stuff, so that stopped. But, given where my life is, I could probably go back and wrap that up. There's so many things as a content creator, or as an entertainer. I should not call myself a content creator. I do not make edited long form. And I hear that's what people are reserving those words for, is edited long form. Like your walkthroughs or your podcasts, stuff like that. But as an entertainer, it always sucks when you have to put the controller and the camera away to go deal with real life. But dealing with real life is important. And I don't want anybody to lose sight of that. Dealing with real life is important. We can't do the things we want without dealing with it. So, oh geez, how do I want to tackle this? I could go about it the obtuse way, but I think what I'm supposed to do is like do a side hop this way. Yep, that was much easier. The way I see most people attempt to get that silver rupee is by lining themselves up for a very precise jump to get to that window from that little but you know, is just do a side to do a side hop right there. That's the only thing I'll say. I did notice that we had some drop frames. I'm gonna do something real quick. Okay, gotta keep playing while I wait for responses on that, but I'm paranoid about this. I used to have dropped frame problems pretty bad. It sucks when I see them happen. whenever I get a dropped frame, I stop what I'm doing. Dang it. I stop what I'm doing and I wait until the drop frames stop. I realize that's kind of sucky. And I know a lot of people just play through the drop frames, but I'm not one of those people. I tend to play action RPGs where if you do that, people you can miss stuff, and you can't always. I just download the VODs to put them on my VODs channel on YouTube, and you can. The drop frames are kept right in. So whenever I see those drop frames, I just stop. You fix the mic there. Everybody enjoying the gameplay so far? I'm not a speedrunner. I cannot make things this interesting for you. Like I said, at most, I know how to do shield drops and a few fancy things, but for the most part, I'm just a person who knows how to play action RPGs. I'm the person who is aware that, yes, you can be expected to make these rather precise jumps at times. And that's kind of the norm among Zelda 64 ROM hacks, is that you make these precise jumps, and that's perfectly okay. It's a ROM mod, and devs are allowed to make it as easy or as difficult as they want it. And I don't mind the jumps, really. There's only a couple that get really testy toward the end of the game, and even then, meh. If you're paying attention, the jumps shouldn't get you. I ignored Discord at my own peril, I think. So I'm gonna check it real quick. I was having a conversation with my sibling this morning. Yes, I am an older brother. I have exactly one sibling. So I'm just gonna check this real quick. Okay, that notice appears to have been for another modding server I'm part of. I'm a part of a lot of different modding servers. There's one project I'm following for Stardew Valley. It's called Yagasan's Workshop. And I keep an eye on the bustling valley in there. I'm part of the ME3 Tweaks modding Discord server. I'm a part of the Ship of Arcadian server. I keep an eye on a lot of modded projects. That's kind of my part and parcel. When it comes to the stuff I've entertained with over the years, if it isn't a lengthy RPG project, then I'm playing the sort of stuff that no other or relatively few people have played on their streaming channels. I play a lot of modded content on my channel. I've tried Skyrim with like a chunky mod list, and you can't get that far with it. At least not with my computer. I think I need like Lobos Jr. levels of specs to make it work. What else was I gonna say with that? I've played Dark Souls 3. I've played I believe I've played both the Convergence and like Cinders. I've done a lot of modded stuff. That's kind of what I'm known for. So welcome to the museum, just to kind of switch subjects and explain why I was here. You've got all kinds of Zelda references in here. You have the Great Fairy Sword up there, Majora's Mask over there, the Mummy Mask, Skull Mask. I think that might be an in-game location. My C buttons would stop covering it. If that is an in-game location, I can't really tell. You've got scenes from Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time. That appears to be an in-game location, which we'll be going to soon. We've got the Master Sword pedestal here, and we have another probably in-game location. The museum has a lot of pictures, and a lot of cool things inside it, but you only ever need to visit it once. Here in this alcove, we were up here earlier when I was talking about stuff I do for my channel. Up there was a red rupee. That's a free 15 rupees that you can get just by leaping off the banister there. We've been to the warehouse. We've been to the museum. We have not been to the puppy owner's house yet. But to do that, we need to go into one of these other buildings first. Like I said, I've played this to near completion, so I know most of where it is I need to go. Hello, Skulltula. Whoever left... why would you let your puppy just roam around freely and find their way into this building full of bugs that would probably eat it? I mean, these Skulltulas don't have, like, they're not scorpions, so the most they have is, like, deadly Chilicoré, but... Still, Chilicoré bites hurt. Spider bites hurt. And I've never... Hello, puppy. Are you gonna come up here or not? Your pathing leaves much to be desired, my canine friend. But let's make our way over to that house. Then after that, I can think of only a couple of extra locations we need to visit. I also want to discharge some rupees out of our wallet. I don't want to be full if I can help it. Our cap is 250, I think, as of version 1.3. Your house is just over here. I'm glad you made that jump, dog. The lore is important, so we'll visit all the houses, but I do want to get the important NPCs out of the way first. Richard, this is my little Richard. Thank you, thank you. I'll give you this to you as a reward. Thank you, madam. Your heart piece is excellent and is most welcome in my arsenal of heart containers. So there is a fake puppy or a brown-colored puppy in here. You can take that to her, and she will say, "Why would you mistake this mutt for my puppy?" You'll just be left very sad. What's out this door? Yeah, there are two ways to get into her house. One is through the bottom here, and the other is top side, which is where we went to deliver the dog. Trying to think of other houses. What's this one? I think I remember this one. Yep, this was the Dithering Lady's house. Across from us is another apartment or house. Hello, your face resolution is awful, but we're going to talk to you anyway. Pretend you didn't hear that. All my husband does is sit upstairs eating beans. He says that he'll make some money soon, but we'll see about that. The Temple of Time, you say? Sorry, I never heard of the place. I'm more worried about what's going on in the forest to the north. Won't the guards do anything about those monsters? And you know, your husband, I can't imagine, like, your top priority being anything except your marriage. If I had a spouse who all they did was eat beans upstairs, I would have dropped his sorry hide, like, a long time ago. You can't just sit upstairs eating beans. You have a spouse to think about. I believe the text is accurate on the rupees. Like, we should know that the blue rupees... I'll have to pay attention next time, but I believe that rupee said that's worth 3 rupees, and the red ones should say they're worth 15. Hello, good sir. Chomp, chomp, chomp. How about some magic beans? They aren't selling very well. How about 10 rupees for 1 piece? This guy behaves exactly as he does in vanilla. His rupee price is increased by 10 every time you buy the beans. So, 10 rupees for the first piece, 20 for the second, all the way up to 100. I think that's like 1,000 rupees or something pretty close to that. It's a finite sum, so people can go ham with the math if they want. Yes, chomp, chomp, chomp. How about some magic beans? Well, they're not that popular. This first line is why the text isn't skippable, by the way. How about 20 rupees? I think we're probably going to buy 4 of these, and we've already bought 2 of them. Yes. What do you have to say this time? Chomp, chomp, chomp. How about some magic beans? They're getting to be quite popular. Sir, we are your only customer. They are not popular. We just need them. In vanilla, I believe you need 6 bean patches? No. There's Vanilla Graveyard, there's Vanilla Deku Theater, there's Vanilla Death Mountain Crater, that's 3. You have the Desert Colossus, that's 4. You have... It's not necessary, but it can expedite the Lake Hylia Laboratory house, that's 5. I think you need a total of 5 magic beans of vanilla, so I'm going to presume the same is true. I usually buy them all anyway, but if you want to know like an exact count, I think 5 will do you well enough. You might need more than that in TSP. I know of most of the locations for the bean patches, the soft soil patches, but I think it should be the same amount. They just might take us to more interesting places, that's all. Alright, we've emptied our wallet as much as we can. What's next? I think it's time I showed you guys this house. Welcome to the House of Skulltula. This is where your rupee or your Skulltula rewards are. I do have the habit of speaking rather fast, seeing as how English is my native tongue. Usually I end up getting tongue-tied when I do this. So if I ever start scrambling over words and it's just like, Coin, you said garbled mess. Please repeat that. I will. And just maybe say it slower this time. So this is a mini dungeon of sorts. It's not a real dungeon. There's no, like, map or anything. But anytime I see locked doors and doors with iron bars, I think of a dungeon when I think of that. So let's explore the floors from top to bottom. That one you think would be a trick to get to, but we've got a table. That's going to make it easier for us to find these Skulltula. You just jump off the table like this. That's how you get it. Alright. Now, you'd think there'd be nothing in this room, right? The camera angle suggests that there shouldn't be anything else. However, there's this table, right? This, like, you know, kitchen counter. Let's climb up and see if there's anything in the corner. That's right. The devs were real clever with this key. They hid this in the camera view where you couldn't see it. That is really clever. I do give the devs props for that. In all the playthroughs I've seen, unless a comment points it out, or, you know, it's someone like Kenton M or someone else who, like, devs Ocarina of Time ROM mods or something, they don't bother to check that camera 9 times out of 10. Alright, 2 doors, 2 ways to go. Let's head through this one first. Dark room. I gotta mind where I am. I'm gonna let you come over here, sir. Floor master, come on. I don't think so. And we can see that dead hand over there. The dead hand usually gets someone at least once whenever I watch people play this. I'm lucky that I've been got by it so many times, I just kind of know where it is at this point. Come over here, break the box for a key. And that's it. Hey, get your hand off me, I guess. See, I knew where it was. I dodged it in combat, which is like the most dangerous time for it to get me, and it got me at the end anyway. Look, dead man's hands, if they want you, they're gonna get you 9 times out of 10. I mean, there are worse dead hands that could have been grabbed by, I suppose. Nice closed door.
it won't open. Gee, Navi, I wonder why that might be. Why wouldn't it open? Maybe there's some sort of poltergeist keeping the door open, and we just can't see him. Will the lens of truth reveal a poltergeist? No, not really. That just happens to be an unused door. Alright, let's open this door first. This room is not where you want to be. This just contains some Deku Nuts, I think. And some lore. We're here for lore, boys and girls, so let's read. I fell asleep at the base of the waterfall. I looked down and found webs wrapped around my feet. Then I woke up. What a weird nightmare, sir. Are you gonna be okay? Well, hold on to that little excerpt about the nightmare because, or about falling asleep under the waterfall. We're gonna want to remember that for later, especially once we get a certain song. I'm not gonna spoil the name of that song, but I will tell you that's how we get there. I'll be a little bit more spoilery with it once the time comes, and that's probably not going to be anytime this stream. Probably not. I don't think we're going to get through 3 dungeons before that happens. Up here, you have to walk along these beams, and now you've realized that Coin is rather mediocre at platformers. I play a lot of these sorts of games, but that doesn't mean I'm good. It just means I play a lot. I need to pull back on my jump just a little bit here. Alright, well, how am I gonna do it this time properly? Like that. There we go. So, here, it sounds like an insane jump that you have to make. It's not really an insane jump. You just want to lean toward the right-hand side of that hole. Hello. We have found our cursed brethren. And I believe both sides of the door should now be open. We hit the switch. Let's get out of here. We don't need to talk to them. That's going to be a bunch of unskippable text anyway. I do have limits on what I want to sit down and listen to. I probably will end up listening to that during the first reward when it makes more sense. I want to show you guys the potion house next. Come right this way. Coffee should be cool enough to drink. Still quite hot, but not scalding. I don't like my coffee piping hot, but I don't like it black either. Like I said, I'm fancy, like fruity with my coffee, if people want to say it that way. Why, hello. Sir, do you know you have a rupee chest above you? I bet they do, and that's where they're storing stuff. Well, finders keepers. This is a really cool feature about the shops right away. That I want to talk about right away. We can actually go behind the counters. And if we talk to him from behind the counter, sure, let's talk to you. Hey kid, if you want to carry medicine, you need a container to put it in. Oh, it even keeps us at our current position. That's also really cool. Alright, up here is where the chest is. You had to have known, sir. You peer into the crystal ball. A dark force is looming just behind you. The vision starts to fade. As in someone else is peering into the crystal ball over your shoulder? 3 rupees. I bet you that was that man's savings we just took. So sorry about that, friend. But we're gonna need that for later. No, get off the crates, Link. This was the crystal ball that we accidentally got the text box for. All that stuff up there, we can't really buy except the Deku Nuts, and we have plenty of those. Let's just get out of here. But if you do need potions, bugs, fairies, you will find them here at this potion shop, just like you do in vanilla. It's a really nice consideration, and I love the house. Did I think I showed you guys the second floor with the bedroom in it, right? I'm gonna go back in and show it anyway. I don't think we did. Coin's memory is not the best, so if I show you something you've already seen, please feel free to speak up. I'd rather not. I try to not make a habit of showing people repeat things over and over again, especially if they've already seen it once. But what's next? There are only a couple houses left we haven't seen. One of them, I think, is over in this direction. There's the guy on the roof. What do you have to say, good sir? I can't get down, so all I can do is look at the beautiful sky. Sir, how did you get up there in the first place? I bet you we could reach that as child if I knew where to jump from. That's where most of the battlements are going to be useful, by the way, is like all that roof hopping. Whose house is this? I know whose it is, but I want you guys to see it for yourself. We took someone's life savings. Great, great. Love that for us. Please don't call the guards. You shouldn't have left your rupees in a crate to begin with, but we also shouldn't have been bonking crates to begin with. Yes, that is her mouth. That is her face. This is what it looks like. She should be treated the same as any other, but usually people react at that mouth with large teeth. Hi, boy. Is this the first time you visited this town? The king has made a huge effort to keep us safe after that war. What war? Well, make yourself at home. I will be tending my flowers. Yes, you do that. Navi, what are you gonna say? Yes, we know about the graveyard. Look, Navi, I'm trying to run a show here, okay? I'm trying to guide people through the game and give them my experience, and I'm also trying to give back to Hylian modding after spending as much time as I have on it, while also being silent. I have a lot of reasons for doing today's stream. At least 3 of them I've just enumerated. I seriously want to take this opportunity to just say thank you to anybody who's still watching. It really means a lot. I highly appreciate it. I want to take this opportunity to also thank, the Hylian modding Discord, because it could have been for just modders. It could have been like a GitHub with chat rooms or something. I certainly don't belong amongst the number, but yet here I am anyway. So thank you for not banning me. Thank you for keeping me around. Just all that fun stuff. I'm getting all the thank yous out of the way. Which house was this? I think this was the guard house. No, this was that, dithering lady's house. Let's go check out the church, while we're here. And I think then we'll head to the graveyard. I don't think there are too many other buildings we haven't checked out. There might be one, and it's on the back of my mind now. Nice ambience. You guys can tell we're going to be coming back here, aren't we? We are. I'm going to be straight up. We will, but not until much later. Hello, good sir. And this is a sir. What do you have to say? Hello there, son. I'm researching the process of making medicine by mixing holy water with various unusual compounds. Perhaps you've met that old lady living on the edge of a cliff. She's like a student of mine. And that's all he says, by the way. Is this your journal, though? Can I read? I'm gonna read it now. Even without the events of 40 years ago, that's spelled wrong. There's no U in 40, but that's fine. No reason to be overly critical of the spelling, but that isn't how 40 is spelled. I think man would still be a creature that fears the dark. And there's a bit of webbing over there. All we're gonna do is come over and burn it. And let's enter the double doors. Note that with the double doors, you treat them like 2 single doors. You just enter through one of the 2 doors. You don't go through the center. I've seen a number of entertainers do this, and that usually just creates extra frustration. Just focus on the individual door handles. And our reward for being a little bit nosy is an empty bottle. That's good. We're gonna need that. The first thing we're gonna do with this empty bottle is find like a bug patch and go from there. And I know where one such bug patch is, but we're gonna have to go down south to get it. All right, graveyard time. Coin, can you see that? Yes, I see the statue of the town guard. Coin, if you can hear me, an evil shadow looms across the land. Who are you supposed to be, Sir Guard? I don't mind talking to statues. I do this sometimes in Elden Ring, but, you know, at least give me a name. The force that we fought to seal so long ago is now moving again. This sounds like one of the 6 sages, doesn't it? You need to find the sources of power, sealing him before they do. The court advisors? That who you're talking about? I will teach you the song to return here. This is a good reason to go to the graveyard, by the way. Even if for no other reason than to get this warp song. And I find that it helps me remember the songs if I play them in the exact same rhythm I get them during the learning song cutscenes. Plus, it's that extra little touch of immersion. You know, you're playing it just the way you were taught. That's always a nice feature I try to do in these Ocarina of Time playthroughs or something. The Dirge of Shadow. I will watch over the city. I'm counting on you, Coin. You still haven't told me who you are, by the way, Sir Statue, but I'm gonna assume that you're a sage. Do I hear it over here? No, which means in previous versions, there was a Skulltula up here that you could find during daytime. I think that was supposed to be a nighttime Skulltula, and in version 1.3, I believe that's been properly adjusted. Hello, kid. Little kids can't go on the heart-pounding grave-digging tour at night. Since I can't do that, I'm just imitating Dompe, the Gravekeeper, all day. You sure he's okay with you doing that, kid? Maybe he wouldn't like it so much. But with my cute face, I'm not heart-pounding at all, am I? You can't be older than, like, 6. Child. Please don't do that. What could I say? Maybe he, too, will be a Gravekeeper. Well, we've got the song. There's nothing more we can do here during the day. Let's just get out of here. Last thing I'm gonna do is head out toward the south gate. We could go towards the outskirts, and that is where we're supposed to go. However, I think there's a couple more things we could do before we do that. That is toward Hyrule Castle. Oh, hello. Hey, Forest Boy, this is the city of Hyrule. Take your time and enjoy the sights. If you came here to see Hyrule Castle, take the street on my right. His right, not our right. If you want to see the nightclub, take the street in front of me. The museum is just beyond that to the left. Now beat it, kid. I got better things to do. Jeez, how rude. That's okay. We're gonna head over this way. Welcome to the Southern Gate. This is where the Gerudo Archery Challenge is. And now we're gonna walk backwards. Yes, I'm aware of this speeding trick. This speedrunner trick. I do use it. but only once I'm sure I know where I'm going. Don't worry, we'll have the opportunity to see these places on the way back. But my goal is to try to get to the ranch during daytime. Why? So we can, you guys will see. You guys will really like what's happened to Lon Lon Ranch. At least I hope you guys will. Can you hear the rain? Oh, a little bit of a interesting factoid about me. I love rain. I love stormy weather. I love stormy skies. I like that aesthetic a lot. Anyone else like stormy weather? We've learned the Song of Storms. Yes, we come here and we learn that. I believe that song was supposed to have been learnable. Has both adult and child. And I think in previous patches you weren't able to learn that as a child. I don't know. Someone will have to correct me on that, but it's nice to see that you can learn that as a child. You guys see Kuko's pen on the right-hand side there as we're panning in? You know what we have to do, right? Sure, this is a level hack, right? A level mod. That means Andrew's around here somewhere. You know what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to help Andrew get her chickens back, aren't we? That's okay. I don't mind helping Andrew get her chickens back. We'll get a glass bottle out of it as well. But, no. Before we do that, we need to find the rock. Assuming it's still here. If you guys can't tell, this is Kakariko Village. This is like that section. There's the old, House of Skulltula. That's here. Although now I think it's just a shed. I think this is one of the locations that were hard-coded in. At least some of the coordinates were hard-coded anyway. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Come on, give me a bug. Thank you. So you might be asking, Coin, why am I bottling bugs? Why the heck would I want to bottle a bug for? You'll see in just a moment. But it's got something to do with soft soil patches. Yep. Over here were soft soil patches. We're gonna plant a bean in this one. This is being played on a 1.0 ROM. I believe that's how you have to patch TSP. That means that you could do the whole bug catching glitch while you're here. I know little tricks like that mostly. There are 10 of these patches in the game, just like there are 10 in vanilla. We're gonna be getting all the patches and all the Skulltulas if I can help it. Ingo, what do you have to say? What are you doing hanging around here, you little weirdo? I'm Ingo, and I mine the ranch. I've been working at this ranch for a long time for that lazy bum, Talon. I don't see him anywhere. Maybe he left. Today, for example, he's gone somewhere for a delivery and he hasn't come back yet. I wonder if he's wasted his life away drinking at that nightclub. So anyway, I'm doing all the work around here. Oh well, it's tough being a working man. Have you mellowed out, Ingo? I think that's what happened. You've mellowed out. For those of you that are haven't caught up with the drop frames, you may have to refresh your streams, like your stream window, if you want to keep watching. I apologize for that, but that is the nature of drop frames. Sometimes it just happens. So we're gonna help Angie with her chickens. Had to make sure that wasn't an important text message, by the way. We're gonna help her with her chickens. We know what we're getting out of the deal. Oh, no, stop! Why are you set to that state? You weren't set to that state before. Whatever. We'll go through all the houses in this ranch eventually. Trust me, we'll get to the... Not that this section of the game is bad, but we'll get to the truly good stuff after the ranch. I'm just trying to do what most people probably wouldn't do, which is... Well, I take that back. Most people would go exploring, but I don't know if people would have bothered with Andrew's chickens right this second. I think most people probably would have just stopped. You also still have to plant the magic beans. I'll have to go back and do that. Okay, so is there one... I know there's like one chicken... We just grabbed the one chicken that was on one of these rock islands, but I think this is the only chicken that you have to grab. Out here, the rest are going to be up front. Ah, right. The normal way to get this Kuko is by just getting a Kuko and flying over to it. I think you can side hop, though. Just gotta angle myself right. Okay, I am holding the sword. I do have to line up. Right, I almost have to be... Right, I was pointing the wrong way. Let's do it like this. Okay, got it. This is another way you can get that same Kuko. This works in vanilla too. Alright, Andrew, I'm gonna save the day. I'm gonna get your chickens. How many people actually bother with Andrew's chicken quest, by the way? Kuko quest. Kuko chicken. Kuko chicken. Panko chicken. Perfect. Breaded chicken. How many people bother with the breaded chicken quest line? I'm joking, by the way. I generally only bother with it if I know I'm playing a raw mod or something that doesn't have the... something that actually ties Anju to a bottle, then I go and do it. In the randomizer, I usually just set the Kuko count to 0. And in Ship of Harkinian randomizer, I generally don't bother with... No, Ship of Harkinian can also be set to 0. It's the Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask combo rando that, for some reason, still doesn't have the Kukos be a customizable thing. So, in that randomizer, I generally don't do them unless, you know, I either feel up to doing it, or it's something I have to do. But this is a nice little combo between, Lon Lon Ranch and Kakariko Village. You'll notice you won't find Kakariko Village anywhere around here. We're just gonna set you here and do this right now. Just get that out of the way. I think we're gonna get a heart piece if we plant this one. If not, there's always Hookshot. We can grab Hookshot and get it later. Great, sir or Madam Kuko, come with me. I think we have 4 Kukos counting this one. How many people like Kakariko Village or Lon Lon Ranch and think that's like their favorite area? They like, oh, hello. Right, I forgot about this. You can just leap on top of the, little shelter stable here. You can clip through the ceiling. I don't know if I'm kind of neutral when it comes to the ranch and the village. I don't know if I prefer either one. Even in vanilla, when you're talking about below the well is like its own location, right? And I don't like Below the Well that much. Even with the scrubbed version of it in the retail releases, I don't know if I like Below the Well that much. I think it's just a matter of redeads everywhere. And I find redeads to be rather annoying. They're not scary anymore. They're just annoying. Andrew, how many more chickens do we have left? Please bring the last one back to the pen. Okay. Last one, I think, is in a crate. And it's one of these crates over here. There we go. I'm just gonna chase you right toward the pen. You gonna give me a bottle for this, Andrew? Please tell me you're giving me a bottle. I don't think that's changed. Thank you for finding my cuckoos. I have allergies, so I get goosebumps when I touch them. For helping me, I will give this to you. It's fine glass and should be useful. Please take good care of it. Yay! That's 2 bottles. That's gonna come in exceptionally handy for a dungeon later. Where we won't have to, like, juggle bottles so much. We'll only have to do it, like, once or twice. Now what we're going to do is go over to that hole up there. Angie, I know I just helped you with your cuckoos, but I'm gonna need to take one of them with me. I like how when you toss the cuckoo, she goes back to being worried about them. It's okay. When I go where I'm going, Andrew, I will toss your cuckoo back to where it is supposed to be. You have my word. And one more. No more tosses. We don't even need that toss coin. I don't know what you're thinking. Up here. Yeah, we want to be on this rooftop. Alright, and if I want to, like, keep these things in the pen, I'm gonna toss it down there. And we get a heart piece for all our hard work. So let's check out some of the other buildings that are here. There's 2 in particular, but we're gonna check them all out. I'm gonna assume you guys have never seen this before. This building here is going to have something worthwhile in it, including some chests. Hello, good sir. Hey, kid, do you always enter other people's houses without permission? Didn't your parents teach you any manners? Oh well. And that's all you say too, huh? Don't worry, sir. I'm only just committing vandalism. That's not a crime you're gonna report me to the guards for, right? Don't worry. This Skulltula is why we were here. You might say that's unreachable, but you can't actually reach this with a side hop. Just try going on this pile of rubble here, and eventually you'll be able to figure it out. I wouldn't blame you for not able to recognize that you can get on the rubble. I certainly had a hard time figuring it out my first time. Sir Skulltula, you gonna drop Deku Nuts for me? No, you're gonna make me very sad. So 15 rupees, treasure chest, which I think was over here. No, that's the other house. And a gold Skulltula and 15 rupees. Pretty good stuff. And then after that, we've got 3 more locations. I'm going to show this one off, but it's not important. Oh, actually, take that back. But it's not important for, like, story-related reasons. Come over here. There's a fairy in here. We have bugs. I'm going to keep this one as a fairy until I need to release it. And we will have to release our hard-earned catches. The fairy and the bugs. We'll need some blue fire later. Like I said, this is a level mod. That's mostly what it does, is adds bits of new dialogue here and there, some lore, and some levels. So you can expect the same obstacles to be present. Hello. Dad always said I would need to be the man of the house. But hey, I do what I can to help out around here. I don't know, man. You seem to me like you're just kind of standing around, and Ingo is actually the one doing the work. Don't judge me. I am judging you. At least your face has good resolution on it. Not even good loot. I bet that stick was for house chores or something. Hello, old madam. I made a lot of money. Maybe I should go look for more things to sell. I never thought that I could retire by selling bugs. I think bugs are 50 rupees in this game. I don't think that value has changed. Someone will feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. So what I intend to do next is to go up here on top of this like watchtower, and then I'm going to leave you guys with that view for 5 minutes. As we're going to take some breaks. Time should not pass here. I can, oh, hello. I could clip through that ceiling there to get that, but I don't want to cheat people out of the proper way to get it. So what's in this chest? Alright, so I think we can get on these. And I'm gonna leave you with this view for a few minutes, guys. It's time for another 5-minute break. You guys know the spiel if you've been here. 5 minutes on the clock, 90 seconds of ads on the clock. Thank you again to anybody who sticks around and watches those, but I won't blame you. If you take a break, I'll see you after this commercial break. I'll go ahead and come back in. How is everyone doing so far? I hope everybody is having a wonderful time here on stream. I realize that I kind of have the personality of a wet, like, sack of noodles. And I don't exactly meme around on stream. I'm not a zoomer. I'm not going to be someone who cracks a joke all the time. But if anybody is watching, or even just lurking in the background, thank you. I appreciate it. While we're kind of still here wrapping up break, if you guys like the content so far and you'd like to see more of it, or you want to see some of the other stuff I do, please definitely leave a follow. Lets me know you like the content or you just want to see other stuff. Much appreciated. Following even gets you emotes now. I've got 2 already. Of course, if you want to support me further than that, I've got links. Go check those out. If you want fanfare, you can always consider subbing. If you don't, then Coffee or Patreon might also be more of your thing. But if you do choose to financially support me, great. If not, also great. I know that times are hard and people don't exactly have a whole bunch of money. Also, I have to feel like I've earned it. I don't think I'm there, and I don't think I've earned it yet. But just putting the midstream shilling out there, getting it out and out of the way. Thank you to anyone who listened through that. But know that you guys are welcome in my streams anytime. We talk about a lot of stuff here. So, I guess while we're coming back in, does anyone here not like what we've been doing? I try to be receptive to my audiences where I can. I mean, that's not going to change what we're streaming, but, you know, there's something to be said for listening to the comments your audience provides. This will also be going up on a VODs channel later. If you want to watch any of my old stream VODs, you can check out youtube.com/swirlingvortex09, capital V, capital V, Swirling Vortex 09 VODS. I should have links to all that stuff. For the VODs channel in specific, you may have to go to my main one first, but that's in the link tree. It's also in the panel on the About Me section. Check that stuff out. That's as much as I want to say. I'm trying to get a lot better about making these succinct messages that let people do their own thing with the stuff I provide. We're gonna wait until nighttime. There are 2 places we have to go. One's the graveyard. This is why I didn't warp, by the way. I specifically wanted to run out the clock. Because we've got a bar we can check out. I'll go ahead and drop that little nugget first, but I won't say much more until after we've made our way in. The bar is denoted by this owl sign. You can just come right in. As long as you have 10 rupees, you should be able to get in. This fine establishment usually doesn't let kids in, but you look like you got some cash. So we're already going below the law, it looks like. Fine. 10 rupees to get into the Night Owl. 10 rupees to get into the Night Owl. Don't worry. This is the only key. This is the treasure chest minigame repurposed into a bar. I like it. Hopefully you guys could tell that's what the NPC was. It's the one who presides over the treasure chest minigame. Hoo hoot! Coin, look over here. I've heard about you, kid. Nice work breaking out of that castle. Don't worry. The guards wouldn't even try coming into this place. I heard something else interesting, too. It seems those 2 really didn't want anyone going up north. You're talking about the court advisors, aren't you? Why else would we say those 2 over and over again? Something to do with 3 stones, but you wouldn't know anything about those, right? It might be worth looking at your map. Press start to enter the subscreen to ZR to find the map. That's vanilla. Did you get all that? And in classic Kapora style, you gotta actually pay attention to the dialogue prompt, or you're gonna get the text box again. Yes, I got it. I got it, Sir Owl. Alright then, I'll see you around. Hoot 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 ho. Hoot 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 ho indeed. Now please, go to the furthest reaches of this nightclub and never grace me with your presence again. I don't hate the owl, but them Kapora text boxes do be annoying. Oh, you are so handsome. Just like the King of Hyrule. And I bet if... Hello. I don't think you can actually blow these walls up. I think it's just interesting texture for the... Interesting sound for the sake of interesting sound. Now, I do see this torch puzzle. Let's go ahead and knock that out. We do get a rather nice reward for it. If you like money, anyway. I like money. Money does make the world go round. 50 rupees. What about this door? You know, Ingo, I think you may be right. I don't believe the child trading quest sequence is active. And you, doing alright, mumble mumble. Sorry to make you worry. I'll try my best at work tomorrow. Yeah, you can find old snooze bag over there. He's here. Can't do anything with him as a child, though. Gotta come back as an adult and have the pocket cuckoo. That's the only way you're waking him. And even then, you guys will be pretty surprised at what happens with the pocket cuckoo stuff. Hello, madam. Your facial resolution is awful. I just want you to know that. Do you know about the Temple of Time out in that desert? Legends say that the Temple of Time is the entrance to the sacred realm. No kidding. Did you know that? Yes. She doesn't say anything better either later on. Is your hand supposed to be over your face? What are you doing? Are you eating your hand? No, it's just the way the camera is. I like that you can turn her head here, and it looks like she's eating her own arm. That's hilarious. What do you have to say here? What a crazy guy. What a cast of characters we got here. You gonna go follow up with a third comparison sentence? That is not the sound you're supposed to make, good sir. It's only a matter of time before the guards bust this joint. That sound comes from hurting the cursed Skulltulas. Like the House of Skulltula, those people, they make that sound when you hit them with your sword. Specifically on their soft underbellies. These NPCs, you can't interact with them, you can't talk with them, you can't interact with Kapora either. They're just kind of here. And Malin here is already all grown up. Yeah, these are the NPCs from the final credits. You can't interact with them. Same with this guy here, also from the final credits of the vanilla game. Can't talk to you though. That Goron over there told me that his big brother found a hot spring while mining up north, but when I got there, the whole place was flooded. I'm not going to tell you my life story, kid. Go bother somebody else. Good God, I was just inquiring about this mine you were talking about. You don't have to be rude. Well, that's all there is to this little bar. It doesn't get much better as an adult either. Instead, what we're going to go do now is we're going to go to the graveyard. There are a couple things we could do there. I am perfectly aware of the Dompe heart piece. No, I am not doing it right now. I mean, we have the rupees for it, but it's just so annoying. But I guess this wouldn't be a full playthrough if I didn't do it. Alright, I've talked myself into it. But we're gonna do everything else first. I don't want to be interrupted. With actually cool things I could show you instead. Let's go to the graveyard. Yes, I'm aware you could warp there, but the warp will actually bring you up there on the cliff. See that pedestal up there? That's one of the warp pedestals, which is where the Dirge of Shadow goes. Same thing with the Overture of Light. It brings us back to the Temple of Time. Those are both warp songs. There is a Skulltula up here, only at night. If you want this Skulltula, what you're going to want to do is you have to make a rather precise jump. This is why I showed you guys the little segment with the rope inside the guardhouse. You need to leap and toward this texture here. Many people in playthroughs seem to think that you can only get this with a boomerang. That is not at all the case. You just have to make a really awkward jump to get to it. And I would say that is one of the more awkward jumps, along with that rope in the guardhouse. Those are both awkward jumps. Is it this grave? It is that grave. It is not this grave. Why not? See that eye switch? We need either Din's Fire or we need fire arrows to do. I believe we get fire arrows and Din's Fire at about the same time as well. Alright, what about this grave? This grave has to be the one. There should be a cutscene if we enter this grave. Look, coin. It appears to be some kind of monolith. I think I can hear something resonating within the stone. It is a nice honeycomb-shaped hole. This is the Sun Song, but backwards, by the way. I'll try to play the Sun Song and see if I've got the flipping right. And I'll kind of explain how it's flipped. So, Sun Song is... Let me get the notes clearly. Right, down, up, right, down, up. And the Moon Song is up, down, right, up, down, right. So if you were to, like, map the song onto a piece of graph paper, and, you know, where you were to precisely label the points and everything, you would see that this song is flipped along Y. Like, along the Y-axis. I know, math in my streams, get the heck out of here with that. But it's true. If you imagine playing the right and down notes first, and you were to like look at it on the song sheet, it would make a lot of sense. If you were to pull up a table with all the songs listed, and then put this song next to it, you would see that this song is flipped. This is the first of many songs that we're going to find in this game that are going to be flips of their like flipped versions of the base song. We'll find that later. The first two warp songs and the Song of Storms don't leave that impression. I guess all that's left is Dompe percent. Anyone? Hey kid, don't mess around with the graves. I'm Dompe the Gravekeeper. My face may be scary, but I'm not a bad guy. Let me give you an advertisement for my side business. Dompe the Gravekeeper's heart-pounding grave-digging tour. You know, there's a musical number. The heart-pounding grave-digging tour. Or I want to make an album title or a song name or a band name out of it, but I can't. I don't have the creativity for it. What's going to come out? What's going to come out? When I start digging, we'll find out. Do you want me to dig here? 10 rupees for one hole? Yes. 5 rupees. Now I gotta sit here and wait for every single time there's a hole. And you know the worst part of it is that this is random. This is all random. I was watching Scowo's playthrough of this for a little while, and they point out the nature of this mini game. And when I realized when they showed us just how random it was, I got mad. Because you know it's meant to be a money-making game, but it's a really bad version of a money-making game. There are way better methods of making money. Even in TSP, where I feel like some of those methods have been removed, there are still good ways of making cash. Why do you think they had to depress the rupees so much? At least this lets us dump rupees, if nothing else. And you know what we're going to do with the rest of our rupees, boys and girls? We're going to go and turn them into magic beans. Just like that tale of Jack and the Giant Beanstalk. Okay, we're going to stop you right there. Yes. Nope, nothing here. I'm not salty at all. Not even a little bit. You gonna say it again, Dompe? No, you're gonna give me Greg out of the whole deal. Fine. Greg it is then. Even the fishing mini game, at least it's interactive. This sucks. But I get it. It's here. It's vanilla. This is a level mod for the most part. So I totally expect the NPCs to be here. I do not blame Genosuke, Kernel of Corn, or Shoopy for any of this. The only thing I think I could say is, you know, why place this here? But it's meant to be a retelling of Ocarina of Time. I can't get mad at them over, you know, leaving Dompe here. And that's not a dig at them. I'm not critiquing things. I'm not upset. I'm just airing my grievances. I find it annoying. I find this minigame annoying, and I'm quite sure at least one of them also has to find a similar level of annoyance to this minigame along with the rest of us. I mean, the treasure minigame isn't here for similar reasons. It's fluff. Has to be. No other way around it. Alright, let's go find the Magic Bean Salesman, and then we can finally hit the road, go to the outskirts, and do what we're supposed to do. I know people have been waiting for a good, proper dungeon. I do intend to take us there. I just wanted to do all the optional stuff first. Now, I can't turn all of our rupees into magic beans. I think I need to keep 20 for what's coming next. Chomp, chomp, chomp. We have the popular magic beans. You'll regret it if you don't buy them now. I want royalties, salesman. I want royalties. I am making an investment in your business. You had better give me a cut of what the rest of the beans you're selling. 50 rupees. So 50, the next one's 60. We had 144 coming in. So we only have one more bean to buy, we can buy anyway, but these are the super popular magic beans. In case you're wondering, they'll soon be sold out. Super price, 60 rupees for One piece? Yes, please. We want to hold on to our 30 rupees. Why? I don't want to spoil it yet. It's in the outskirts, though. I'll tell you that much. I mean, that's the next place we're headed, is the outskirts. And we're actually about to get into the real section of the game and not just, here is Coin doing a bunch of tedious side quests. Or like mini games. Like that stuff is fun, but I know you guys are clamoring for something with a bit more oomph to it. You guys want to see the fairy slingshot. You want to see the bomb bag. You want to see us pay revisits to Hyrule Castle. You want to see all that, and I intend to give it to you. I just wanted to do this stuff first. Now, there are two ways we could go. One of which will take us to the sort of condensed Hyrule field. That's kind of what I want to call the outskirts. That area up there, this area over here, and one other else. It's all kind of Hyrule field when you think about it, but that kind of does the that kind of does all the hard work the mods have put in, the authors have put into this game. It does it injustice. So I'm just trying to like make comparisons so people have a good sense of scale over where they are. They have a basis to compare this to the vanilla game, essentially, is what I'm trying to get at. Alright, what I want to do... Why can't I look forward? Really? Okay, it's the small stuff. Let's come over here. I guess there's nothing in here? Probably. Can't even, I would have grabbed onto the ledge of this window had that been the case. Let's go up here then. Both places will take us to where we need to go, but we can't really do much with the going straight right now. We can't do much with that area, so we should just go this way. We are here in Pathways. Outskirts is a hub, like it's a branching pathway. And Pathways is another. There's a couple of other areas that are kind of hubs to other places, but that's kind of what I meant with the overworld. There's just a lot of entrances. Over there, with that plume of smoke, do you remember the lady who said that, oh, I wish the guards would do something about the monsters on the outskirts of town in the forest up north, in that the forests are burning? Zelda also mentioned burning forests. That's kind of where that is over there. We'll be headed there. We need one or two things to access the actual burning portion of the forest, but we will head there eventually. For the time being, there are a couple of ways we could go to reach the area above us. You can make a really complicated series of jumps to get up there, or you could go around on this bridge and wrap around where that Mad Deku scrub was, and you'll still have to make the same set of jumps that way. But let's go in the Lost Woods first. Do you guys have is there a tree here? Some trees do have Skulltula in them. No, I'm not wanting to lift this. So, Lost Woods is a little bit more condensed. It's also more vertical than anything. Let's see if I can get us going in the right path. We can step out this way. Sure. I can show you guys the other little hub area. It all kind of interconnects. So welcome to the Contorted Gorge. Off in that direction is where the castle town is. Up there on the left, where I'm kind of looking, is where that old hag, the potion shop lady, not the potion shop owner, that's a man. But when we talked to the old guy in the church, he mentioned that he had a student up here. That's her house. And over there is the general store. Off to the right, I'll show it rather than talk about it. If you guys remember the story that we were told in the Night Owls Club about there being a flooded out mine, that's probably over here. And over there, if you follow the stone spires off to the right, you'll find a passage that we can't take yet. We gotta blow it up first. So, now that I've shown you guys that, there is a bean patch. I'll at least walk up there, grab that bean patch. I will tell you that the soft soil bean patch is worthless for your beans. There's no reason to even plant one. So we're not. Should be up here somewhere. No, it's further up. That's right. It's over here. Or not. Okay, where's... I'm trying to remember where the bean patch is now. I know it's somewhere on the hill. I might just be misremembering where it is now. The joys of remembering stuff wrong on stream. Is it possible I've been mixing up earlier versions of the game? I totally remember a bean patch this way. Let me try walking further up the path and see if it's here. Here it is. Okay, I just didn't see it from all the angles I was looking at it. Here we are. Let's plant something in this bean patch. Now we wait. Our first reward is at 10, and we have 7. Usually when I watch people play this, I see them somewhere around the 3 to like 6 mark. I've watched a lot of LPs of this, if you couldn't tell. It's something that I tend to like try to get into while I'm house sitting. If there's a game I'm interested in, and I know I don't want to do it as a first time playthrough, or it's something I've already played, I like to watch other people deliver the same content as myself, so I know what I need to talk about. I'm not usually known for first-time LPs. I'm usually known for, somewhere... I'm in this middle ground between where a walkthrough is and where a modified Let's Play is. Especially with shorter, relatively short games like Ocarina of Time, where you kind of get the chance to just know everything. And if you do it enough times, you just kind of remember where everything is. This over here is where the old Deku Theater is. Just gonna keep it from spitting nuts at us. Yes, Snappy. I've heard that there are ruins by the outskirts of town that have been stirring with monsters. Yes, Snappy. I know, we're supposed to go to the outskirts of town. Got it. Good to know. 5 seconds, Snappy. I asked for 5 seconds. Could I get that, please? Look, I bet we could plant something here. I bet someone in town might have something like that. Navi, I am way ahead of you, girl. Way ahead of you. Let's plant these beans. This is a mandatory bean patch. I'll just go ahead and say it right now. Mandatory bean patch. You'll see why later. you'll be glad that we planted the beans in this patch as well. Sir Bug was having a problem burrowing in there. I think that puts us up to 9. Yes, up to 9. Good stuff. If only this were Majora's Mask. In Majora's Mask, you can play Song of Storms if you know it on a bean patch. If you've just planted a bean there, and the sprout will grow. But this isn't how this game works. In any version, Master Quest, GameCube Debug, version 1.0, 1.2 Retail, doesn't matter. Not how it works. We just have to be patient little boys and girls and wait for the bean to grow properly. This game's metric is about global time, not so much local time. I would describe Majora's Mask as being more focused on local time, where like everything happens in the span of a few days, and what happens in those few days as you repeat them over and over is what matters. There is a reason I'm not turning down extra rupees. And I'll make that reason pretty apparent as soon as we get back out of the Lost Woods and we get going up those tricky sets of jumps. I hope I'm doing a good job of showing everything off that I want to demonstrate to you guys. I don't think I've missed much yet. There might be 1 or 2 things I've missed, and that should be about it. And it's stuff that I easily know to check for when we become an adult or on future run-throughs. The TSP, or the Sealed Palace, tends to put a lot more off until you're an adult, or just does things in a different order. And really, for ROM mods, that's about what you want to expect. I don't want to play through content in the same order as the base game. Otherwise, I'd just go play it. Or I'd play a randomizer to experience that. And just close all the settings in the rando. No, I like the fact that things are different here. And I really, again, want to stress how thankful I am to Jinosuke, Colonel of Corn, Colonel of Corn, and Choopy for all their hard work. This mod would not be possible without them spending long hours at the computer, putting together textures and writing up songs or putting the levels together. I really appreciate all their hard work. So, I want you guys to make note of 2 things. There's a platform up there, can't do much about it. And there's a clay wall over there, can't do anything about that either. We'll be able to do something with that later, but that's going to be waiting for a long time. I saw you over there in the corner of the render distance heart piece. You can see it flicking in the distance, can ya? Can't ya? It's like it's pre-calling it. Anyway, we need bombs, or we need blue fire for that. We can technically... No, actually, we can't even buy blue fire at this stage. That's 300 rupees. What time of day is it, though? That might matter in a second. Let's go through here. Welcome to the fishing pond. Well, do you want to go fishing for 20 rupees? This is why I said we needed to keep 20, by the way. At least. Oh no! You don't have a rumble pack. With a rumble pack, you can feel the vibrations of a fish on your hook. No thanks, man. I'm not interested. This time, no rumble for you. No soup for you either. No soup for you, fisherman. Okay, listen up. Yeah, we don't need to preview all the controls for this. We'll be there for 5 minutes. Yes, I understand. We've all played Ocarina of Time, I'm fairly sure. Fishing isn't that hard. There are also a lot of misconceptions about fishing that I'll try to, like, clear up. I'm so generous, I'll let you fish for as long as you want. However, you can only keep one fish. The biggest fish ever caught here weighed 6 pounds. After you cast, you can change your view with Z. Let's fish. So fishing. Time of day does affect bite chance. Also, you're gonna see speedrunners just kind of rapidly press B and hope the fish bites, because it's kind of random. There is a little bit of a trick. The fish does have is more receptive when there are breaks between button presses or stick mashing, but not by that much. In terms of actually catching the fish once it bites, you just hold the thing down. Yeah, you can move the stick left or right in order to, like, pull it faster, but as long as you're pulling down on the control stick, you'll be fine. Also, the fish you want to catch is over by those 2 sets of logs. This is true in vanilla, both adult and child. That's the fish you want. Let's catch the fish and be on our way. I'm kind of taking my time with the fish a little bit. And now I look like an idiot. Fish, you're not going to make me look like an idiot, are you? I hope not. I have to move further forward than what I already am. Great, you're over there. Let's move closer. Alright, there we go. I think I maybe stopped pressing something for like half a second tops. And as long as you're not fishing at the crack of dawn, or, you know, at the absolute hour of midnight, you'll be fine. The bite chance and length that the fish spends on the fishing rod, it is the shortest at dawn and the shortest at midnight. And the fish will hardly bite at those 2 times. As long as it's literally not at either of those 2 times. The bite chances and bite length are pretty, or the time spent on the reel is pretty variable. It weighs 10 pounds. Yes, I would like to keep it. Don't dismiss this fishing minigame as an adult either. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to spoil it further than that. Weigh my fish? Yes, please. Whoa! This fish is huge. It's a new record. It weighs at least 10 pounds. Here's your prize. Got a piece of heart. Collect 4 pieces total to get another heart container. Yep, blah blah. And don't forget to turn in the fishing rod. I've accidentally almost walked out with these a couple of times. Alright. So now we get out of this cave, and we can actually go tackle a dungeon. Hooray! Right? That's what we were waiting for? The dungeon? I just wanted to get all the side stuff out of the way. Stuff that people would normally be like, hey, yeah, you missed this. No, I'm perfectly aware of where most things are. I might just accidentally forget to go do it, but I promise you guys, I have not forgotten. So remember that hookshot location for later. It's back over at Pathways. Let's go see what this huge archway is. You guys think this is going to be a dungeon? I've already preluded the fact that we're going to do a dungeon, but, you know, in case people thought I was being dramatic, do you guys think this is a dungeon? It is. Forest Grotto. There's a map. There are no mini-maps L kind of does nothing in here. You can't even press it for the sound effect. There ain't nothing. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find puzzles. So far, this is a pretty nondescript puzzle. Giant golden torch. These gold torches are usually lit up by something else. And the real puzzle is going to be how do we light these 2 other torches. Rupee. Are there any sticks in these? Right, let's go see what we hit here. Ah, a crystal switch. Yeah, this one's a pretty devious crystal switch. It's not too difficult. If you're, like, looking at the room, as long as you actually, I don't know, turn the camera around or, like, pan around, you'll find the crystal switch. Or, you know, I've seen many people actually just hit this crystal switch by accident. That's actually a really common way I see it, you know, triggered. And yes, Navi, I know about the iron bars. You don't need to tell me twice. Let's light these 2 torches. This first dungeon is really cool. You might not think much of this first room, but the rest of these rooms are killer. They are stellar. Look at this. Look at this. You can see a bit of the skybox up there. How it's blue. You can see the trees. This is a huge room. There are at least 2 puzzles in here. One with the torches, and it looks like there's one with silver rupees as well. Most people are really awestruck by this room. If there's any room I want to let the devs know that, you know, they did really, really well on in terms of presentation, it's this room. There is a little bit of a hiccup later on when we reach the top, because if you look, it's not easy to tell up there. It might need to be higher up. Let's do that. Let's go higher up. There's a room in here. Well, there's a room up there. You can tell what we're probably going to have to do looking at this, right? We're going to have to leap across those branches. That's what I would expect anyway. What's in here? This puzzle. Right, this puzzle. Oh, and when in doubt in Zelda ROM mods, kill the enemies. Just kill them all. That's gonna be way, way better. Like, I know it's a kind of a time waste, but killing all the enemies is one surefire way to know if there's a puzzle associated with that or not. Okay. So we've got a torch. Let's light it up. I said let's light up the torch. Or light up the stick. Thank you. That opens a gate. And now we go dive down for that switch, right? It's a really clever reuse of the switch puzzle in one of the rooms of the Deku Tree. So there, that's either going to be the map or the compass, right? It is the compass. We already know what these do. They just mark the locations of chests and such. So we got 3 chests. One's back in the main room. I bet you it's tied to either the torch puzzle or the silver rupees. Now, if you guys notice that ladder up there, you're meant to shoot this down with a slingshot. This may have been fixed in version 1.3 as well. But I believe if you're clever with the jump, you can just leap up here. No ladder required. I will come back and shoot that ladder down just to demonstrate, but you can just kind of like cheese this puzzle a little bit. It was one of the most commonly pointed out little puzzles, actually, because you could just easily use the platform you've created by solving the puzzle and jump up there. I get why that platform is here, by the way. This is so the ladder actually has an actor to be placed on. Even so, unfortunately, anyone who tries jumping with the platform is gonna figure out you could skip it. That's not a deal breaker. It's just for a Skulltula. If it were like for a major item, that might be a bigger deal. But it still wouldn't be a deal breaker for me. And I like how in TSP, if you see a place, you either know if it's background or nice, or you know you're going to be able to get there somehow. There are a few places where it's just background. You can climb, jump, swim to a lot of spots in TSP, and that's really cool. In my purview. I hope people share that same sentiment with me as I show you guys the rest of TSP. Like I mentioned in the Discord posts, this isn't something I'm always going to be doing on Tuesdays. Like specifically playing ROM mods every Tuesday. I might do other stuff on Tuesday, but if I start a project with a ROM mod, I'm gonna at least attempt to finish it. Let's get this. I have seen some playthroughs where you need people think you need a boomerang for this. You don't. You could just make the jump. It is a little tight with the jumps, but you can do it. Which puzzle do you want to tackle first? Let's get the silver rupees first, as we get to see more of the room if we do it this way. Whereas if we do the torches first, then we're going to feel like we're doubling back around, and we might not know where everything is. That would be the logic I would tell you guys to use if you're approaching this room. Do the rupees first. The rupees reset if you go through the doors anyway, so you don't want to do the torch puzzle, go get a chest, forget that the silver rupees are even there, and then forget that you have silver rupees to get. I made that mistake my first time going through this room, and I felt yucky afterwards. Well, not so much yucky, I felt annoyed afterwards. Maybe that's the word I want to use. It was gross, though, having to redo part of a puzzle that you set out to do. It's just kind of bad form in Zelda games not to finish your puzzles. Trying to remember if left or... I think if you go left to right, you're gonna have a better time of it than if you went right to left. Let's do it this way. A dev or someone else who's experienced is more than welcome to tell me if they found a more optimum way or they know an optimum way of doing this puzzle. But I do think left to right is how you want to do it. You know, if you're not flubbing it up like me, that is. Has the Let's Play curse struck yet? You know, where you do everything great off camera, but the second you do something on camera, it all hell breaks loose. I hope that's not what I'm going to be experiencing in this streamed LP. This chest, I think, is the map. Feels too easy to be the dungeon item. Should be too easy for a dungeon item. Yep, and we know what the dungeon maps do, so this is our map. There's 2 floors. It's really quite small. It's a pretty good-sized introductory dungeon. Deku Tree felt a little bit larger than life. So it's nice to see that, you know, the smaller, like, how do I word this? It's nice to see the dungeon designs and like pacing take a different direction in these ROM mods. I don't want to go here yet. Do I? Well, we kind of have to go there, Coin, don't we? So this leads us toward the boss. We have torches. If we had Din's fire or fire arrows, we could do it. Since we don't, all we're going to do is come over here to this room. There aren't any other rooms left, actually. Not that I'm aware of. No, I didn't want to pull that out, game. There are 2 Deku business scrubs in here. We're gonna ignore them. They're not even required for the room. I'll just go ahead and be transparent about that. You don't need them. This is a kill room, if you couldn't guess. Are there any Skulltulas in these trees? I'm gonna check them, but I don't remember there being Skulltulas in the trees. Not here, anyway. I could be wrong. I'm open to being wrong. I know there's definitely one that's gonna make us go through that room a second time, though. That's gonna be... looking before leaping would be a good skill, Coin. Geronimo, I guess? Nice upskirt. Beautiful. Love to see that in a children's game. Not really, but... it's just an artifact of the times, isn't it? Well, I'm gonna check a couple of trees, and then we're gonna go back through that room again. And then it'll be time for our break. I'm already a little overdue for the break. But I did promise that I was going to be thorough in this playthrough, and I mean it. I want this to be 100%. I know I can do it. And really, it's not going to be the dungeons that are going to be a problem. It's going to be the overworld Skulltulas that are going to pose me some problems. Because I've nearly completed the game. I have not actually completed the game. Like I said, I stopped just short of the fight with Ganon. And I know I didn't do all the overworld stuff. There's at least one major item in TSP that is considered optional. And I'm not going to spoil that yet, of course. But you guys should at least be aware of its presence. You should know that you don't actually need them all to beat the game. I think that might actually hold true for vanilla as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly sure the gold gloves, gold gauntlets, are not required. You only need them for double defense and like 2 puzzles. No, I take that back. Gold gloves are required in vanilla. Specifically light trial makes them required. Alright, I'm going to leave you guys with this rather excellent view of the major room in this dungeon, and we're going to take another 5-minute break. It's the last one for the stream. I streamed for about 4 hours on average. Sometimes I stream for less, but usually you guys get a heads up when that is the case. You guys know the deal. 5 minutes, 90 seconds of ad time on the clock, and I will see you guys at the end of this commercial break. I am back, folks. Sorry about that. Thank you for sitting through the ads if you sat through them. Otherwise, well, hopefully I'm welcoming you back. And that you've enjoyed your short commercial break to get up, stretch your legs, and do whatever it is you want to do during your break. If nothing else, I do want to thank people for even just lurking. There aren't good streams out there that don't have lurkers in them. Lurkers are the good backbone of any stream. So if you're doing that, thank you. Not trying to single anyone out, not mentioning any names, nothing of the sort. Just an honest thank you for allowing me to grace your airspace with my voice. I know that my personality is not it is not hot potatoes or anything like that. Actually, I'm going to do a little bit of an experiment before we continue onward. I just need to do something in OBS. There. I think I got it. Now all you get is this nice purple square and in the emulator screen. I really wish I could make it full screen, but without having an NDI present, I'm not really sure what else I'm supposed to do. And I'd have to go look up how to perform setting up an NDI for OBS. So we have a lot of stuff going on in this room. You've got a bar door behind us on our way in. We've got some Decubabas down there. We've got a Mad Scrub over there, Skulltula there, a golden one over there, and a bigger one up here. Let's get the golden one first if we can. Many people also think you need the boomerang for this. You do not. All you have to do is just be really precise. And you can get the Skulltula without too much issue. Really, the scary part is the jump. Once you get past the jump, it's all kosher. Yeah, I got it, game. I made a mistake. Let's just get the Decubabas now over here. Hopefully I don't look too amateurish. I'm not a speedrunner or anything, but I know my Zelda. That's kind of a goal of mine. If I know I'm playing a game which I know many speedrunners and challenge runners have done or completed, I do my best not to look amateurish, like I'm someone just flubbing it up with the controls. I realize that makes for some funny moments. You know, haha, LOL, fail, streamer, fail, funny. I think that gets old after a while. Like, it loses its luster and its charm after, like, the first stream or two. You don't want to see constant... I shouldn't... I'm projecting now, so I'm gonna be careful. In my mind, if I'm imagining the average viewer, eventually you want to see proficiency. You don't want to see flubbing up what A and B are after a while. You would like there to be progress with the controls. I like that we could climb up during that. I'm surprised the game let us do that as well. Alright, so we have our door. Before doing the difficult puzzle of getting that torch over to that burnt webbing, let's go claim what will hopefully be a prize. We can check our map and know that we've unlocked the room with the chest in it. So hopefully at least a reward shouldn't be surprising. And we have found the slingshot. Nice. Now we can actually get rid of the magic beans or some other useless thing on our C button shortcuts. And don't worry, we'll soon be making use of our lovely little slingshot. But not before having to do a difficult torch puzzle. It's not too hard, you just can't... He says while screwing it up. Really, it's just having to make the jumps. You can't, You want to insert a couple of rolls into this particular jump or torch puzzle. Because the timer is tight. You lose the stick afterwards. That's how tight the timer on it is. Even with, well, I think it would be tighter if you didn't put any rolls into your jumps. Or roll at least a little bit. If you burnt that webbing and came up here, you would have realized that if you bothered to look up, you would have soon realized you needed a slingshot anyway. So it's just better to do it in this order. Ah, yes, Goma eggs. We don't normally see Goma eggs in non-forest dungeons, so we're just gonna take them out one at a time. No spider required. And last one. When in doubt, kill them all. And I think this will wrap around to the hall right before the boss. No, wrong door. We have to make it up through here first. Now, this jump is tricky. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You should expect to fail this jump once and have to climb all the way back up. I would pull out your sword for this and line up with the tip of that branch. And if necessary, press the B button again mid-jump to transition into a jumping slash, which will give you a little bit of extra momentum. Or a little bit of like aerial repositioning. I should say momentum. I should say aerial positioning. And that'll help you cross the finish line. So, we have a graveyard here. I wonder, were Hylians the one that died? Or did the Kokiri come up to bury their people and then get captured? Yeah, hide in the wall. You do that. There should be one more Poe around here somewhere. Don't go invisible. Right, back away. The trick to fighting Poes is to not Z-target them. That makes them go invisible. Granted, you can still stay locked on, and you can just wait for them to briefly turn visible again and have a jump slash prepared. But I've actually warmed up to just fighting them without a Z-target. It's easier that way, at least for me. Do whatever works for you. That's the beauty of video games, right? You can do what works for you. You can play the game how you want to play it. I am pulling out all the graves. I already know which one contained the ice switch, but some of the gravestones contain rupees underneath. So if you're poor or you're waiting on those last few rupees before you go and buy a shield or get the next magic bean, pulling up these gravestones may be something you want to do. Nice. And the camera spazzes out to boot. I know what I'm doing, and I could still fail pretty hard sometimes. Anyone else ever have like a massive video game fail? It could be any game. Doesn't matter which one. Where like you know what to do, you've done it before, But it's just tricky enough that if you're not paying attention, you will fail and screw up. And I'm the person who has performance anxiety. The more I screw up, the more likely I am to screw up again. If it's something that's complicated or, especially if it's something time sensitive, I am terrible with time sensitive stuff. In games. In games. I'll usually screw it up. And if it's something I can't do again, or if it's something that once you pass the checkpoint, there's just nothing to do but forget you ever took the quest in the first place, I'm usually an unhappy camper. This is a level mod for Ocarina of Time, so you should expect the bosses to be in the same order as well. Hello, Goma. It's nice to see you again, hon. Tell me, someone who is part bear and part spider, how are you gonna treat me today? Oh, before I forget, you can use sticks to help in your fight with Goma. 3 jump slashes with the stick, and it's game over for Goma. Bosses are the same as well. Just use the sticks. They're way more effective than a bladed weapon. LOL. Link finds a Kokiri sword in a chest. Cool, sweet dagger. Runs it up against a boss. Why isn't this working? I'm gonna bring out a stick. Boss dies in stick hit. I don't know why I ever needed this dinky little dagger. I'm just gonna throw it out now. Swords meet stick. Way more effective. Anyway, let's get out of here. I know why. I have a good idea of why they made the sticks. And this is in vanilla, by the way. Why the stick behavior follows the damage values for the sword, the Master Sword, and the Bigoron Sword. And I get the feeling it's tied to the animation, or its damage value is entered into a table as that value, and that is why it does that damage. It's meant to be a gameplay consideration, so if you want more damage, you get the stick. It's just old video game means they don't tell you about it. You have to figure it out. Coin, we have defeated the evil force lurking in the forest. But I feel we've barely started this journey. The curse placed on this land has likely spread far beyond this place. The spiritual stones provide a source of power for these monsters. Coin, we must find the other stones. This is Hyrule's final hope. Swallowing spit the wrong way? In a cutscene? Never. Coin, ascend the mountain. There you will surely find the other stones. The spiritual stones, the stones especially designed to be spiritual stones, the spiritual stones for the altar, those spiritual stones. 10 points to anyone who gets the reference. Let's take this stone with us. We must guard it at any cost. And we've got the MacGuffin get cutscene. Get cutscene, Jesus. Mouth is sticking together pretty bad. Coffee will do that to you. We got the Kokiri Emerald. This is the spiritual stone of the forest. You can feel a great power emanating from the stone. Let's look for those other stones, Coin. Will do, Navi. Will do. Does Slingshot offer up anything? We could go do like a single puzzle back at Hyrule Castle. But it isn't actually super efficient for us to return to Hyrule Castle right now. What we should actually do is go through the contorted gorge now. That's that place with the potion lady over there. That's what we're gonna find. That's the area I'm talking about. And there's the old mine that I showed you guys, the entrance to it. We can go there now. We have the slingshot, we can do it. But before that, we're gonna buy beans. We're gonna empty our wallet again. You might be asking yourself, why? Why bother emptying your wallet? Well, I mean, we kind of need to keep it light so that we can, you know, actually not have wasted rupees. I never like that feeling in a video game where you go like over currency cap and then just can't ever spend it. That's not cool. But because this is a ROM mod and it's mostly a level mod in particular, that means all the vanilla quirks still exist somewhere. So it's up to us to empty our wallets at an appropriate time and place. And now between dungeons is probably the best time to do it. The mine is actually also a rather cool location. One thing about the dungeons, I should say, is that we will often be... Chomp, chomp, chomp. We have the super rare magic bean. This could be your last chance. Special price, 70 rupees. Yeah, I'll take it, sure. And we'll buy one more. Chomp, chomp, chomp. We have the legendary magic beans. I'll sell them only to you. Only we have bought them, good sir. Super price, 80 rupees. If you want to plant beans, yeah, yada yada. Got it, good sir. Thanks. Before moving onward, we are going to go also and turn in the first Skulltula reward. That will let us get the adult wallet. The rewards are vanilla, and the times when you get them are also vanilla. So all we have to do is come over here. The curse has been broken. Thank you. Here's a reward for you. In adult's wallet, adults are allowed to carry a lot of money. You can hold it to 500 rupees. This should let us, yes, I know you're cursed. More spit. Yay. I love spit going down wrong pipes. Now we have 500 rupees. And, we'll be able to hold a lot of money. We're gonna need it. Not as a kid, as an adult is where you should expect to spend a lot of money. But still, having it now never hurts. Where am I wanting to go? We need to go back out to the outskirts. And that means back up to the church. Got it. Notice I haven't really used a whole bunch of warp songs yet, and that's because it's mostly been unnecessary. If I need some place to be at night, there's no reason to use the warp song. You're never gonna pass time that way. You gotta come back at night. Anyway, so you might as well just walk. It's mostly used for... I mostly use the warp songs as a way to... If I don't need to pass time, then I have no problem using them. And it helps me plan. If I just pass... If I have to sit there with the emulator open and just kind of talk at you for a minute, I mean, I have no problem being all chatty with you guys. I love talking to people. I'm an extrovert. I love talking to people, but I think it's rather boring if all I do is just sit there and wait for time to pass. And I don't want to use the speed up function in the emulator. I do have the advanced settings turned on, so that is something I could do, but my preference is definitely just to try to do everything organic as possible. After all, this is going in the VOD, like in the VOD format, so if I want people to watch it back, I know a common complaint among these types of things is, hey, I don't appreciate you speeding the ROM up. Could you please not do that? It's uncomfortable. And that's because people mostly have your content on in the background as audio. Audio is king. So if it sounds bad, well, people are not going to want to listen to you, let alone watch. Welcome to the Flooded Mines. This is not quite a dungeon. It doesn't have its own map or anything. We have a lot of things we can do. This is going to get us items you don't expect. I'll just say it like that. You're going to get some unexpected stuff in here. Let's go ahead and light up these torches. And this is probably some consumable or a bloopy. Yeah, that was what I was expecting. This ice switch, I believe, is going to open that grate over where that blue weight switch is. Yes. As soon as the camera pans to a more obvious viewpoint, you can see that's what it does. The Flooded Mine is where the dungeon design starts to get a little bit more... It's not obtuse yet. You guys are going to know obtuse when you see it. I love TSP, so I'm trying to be as polite as I can when I say it. There's one dungeon in particular whose design is just... You would never know unless you read every stone and you paid attention to symbols, not just puzzle actors and stuff. This puzzle is rather cool. So what you do is you're gonna put this box here, and that's gonna make some platforms appear, right? You place the box down. I don't recommend shield dropping crates, by the way. I think they break when you do this. Yes, Navi. I've heard that Gorons leave their belongings in the mines to the north. Thanks, Navi. We're already here, hun. You don't have to strain yourself. It's okay. I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna take this other crate. We're gonna come, Oh. Normally I fail when I do this. It's kind of cool that that I actually succeeded doing this. Alright. That causes new platforms to appear, right? Looks like some of them even, you notice how these kind of overlap? That should kind of be your clue. Along with the fact you can't proceed past that set of, blocks. So what you actually want to do is come down here and remove the box. Don't slash it. You're gonna waste a whole bunch of time doing that. Instead, take it with you. Take it with you up here. He says as he immediately fails the jump after making a notoriously more difficult jump. Luckily, this is on a conveyor belt, so if you want to just take the conveyor belt up, you can have a minute to think about how you want to do this. Ultimately, you can head this way. I think it's more beneficial if you head this way first. And likes, eat shields, as to be expected. They'll be either Deku or Hylian shields. Just stay away from them. Stay away from them. Don't even let them get close to you. Don't ever let them touch you. This particular like is not in a bad location whatsoever, but we're gonna meet some deviously placed likes later, and they're gonna be hella fun, if you know what I mean, in air quotes. We got this silver scale. I was wondering when we were going to get that. I already knew, of course, but if you were wondering, well, how are we gonna dive deep? Where's the silver scale? Normally you get that from like the Zora diving minigame, right? Oh, it's in the mine. So here, what we want to do is we need to take a dive. See those old mine carts down there? You know, the ones where the flooding kind of starts? The water we're swimming in. let's dive down. I think this puzzle, or this particular point of navigation, is also kind of cool. You just got to make sure your camera's positioned right. And if you don't have any extra heart containers, having 24 seconds to navigate this can be kind of tight. You just want to, once you dive down, just stay straight and then take a right as soon as you know you can't anymore. Because the wooden beams are going to prevent you from going anywhere else. We don't have the Goron bracelet yet, but if we're seeing bomb flowers, that should be a pretty telling indicator that we're gonna get the bracelet, right? Or otherwise bombs. I think it would be a little premature if the game gave us bombs, though. Let's head down here first. I think Goron bracelet is exceedingly more likely given the circumstances. I'm gonna bring you guys over to this clay wall. If you want to make your time luring them over easier, you can use a Deku Nut in order to stun them once they're at the location you want them to be, and then you can just smack them dead. Hello, Dinalphos. I'm gonna use sticks for you. Come here. Stop. Dinalphos are exactly like Lizalfos, except faster and are more evasive. That's really about it. If you have plenty of sticks and nuts with you, I'm not letting you dive under the ground and making life complicated for me. Up here, that'll be where our other lovely item is. Now, if we want this chest, it's gonna be up here. And we kind of did this weird clipping thing where we managed to get up there without having to grab the ledge. Thank you for the consumable refreshment. We needed those. I spent about 4 nuts fighting that Dinalphos. Now, what could this item be? You guys think it's going to be the Goron bracelet? I think it's going to be the Goron bracelet. And it is the Goron bracelet. And just like that, it's on our person, it's on our left arm. These rocks don't have much of value. They do have 5 rupees if you want them, which I do want them. We're still trying to buy out the 2 beans, so... every little rupee counts. And it all makes a difference, right? Those are like the common catchphrases. One says when money matters. Even just 1 cent makes a difference. Kinda got a random question. People, you don't feel free to ignore me if I'm just kind of barking up strange trees, but... Anyone ever been to a soup kitchen? I actually haven't, and I'm curious about the experience. Of course, I'm hoping that you've visited a soup kitchen and not, and have not needed to use a soup kitchen before. But I'm curious about the atmosphere of a soup kitchen. Come over here. We light up this bomb flower. The timers on the bomb flowers are a little bit shorter. It's like maybe by a second or so. It's enough to make a difference, but you wouldn't immediately notice it if you didn't attempt this puzzle, right? What I want to do is... Do we enter a doorway? No, I don't think we entered a doorway that unloads the box. We're gonna find out. Together. Because Coin does not remember. What do people think about the flooded mine so far? Like it? Hate it? Eh? I'm in more of the camp. It's cool. It definitely does. And I saw an ice switch back there. You thought I was gonna miss that ice switch, didn't you? I don't know what people are thinking. But I'm not missing ice switches today. I think I've been on the ball with everything I've done so far. You can climb up here. And no, you can't push that cart either. What am I doing? You can use a jump attack for that. This switch doesn't actually require a weight to keep it down. You can't weigh it down anyway. It's a timed switch. Now, let's return to what we were doing. It did unload the crate. Dang it. That's alright. We could just go get the crate and do it again. And we need that crate to be on that switch, by the way. Or we're not making it through this next part. Our last thing, there's actually only really a couple more things we have to do to get out of the flooded mine and into the mountain. We have to, of course, open up this passage with the bombs, swim our way through. I think my camera is in a much worse position this time. Yeah, let's fix that. Swimming is such a finicky thing in Ocarina of Time, it's not funny. Should be just a turn to the left here. I believe now instead of 40, we would have 36 seconds. Yep. If you're ever curious on what your heat and breath timer is, your breath timer is 8 seconds per heart. I believe the heat timer is also 8 seconds per heart. I don't know if there are other timers, though. Those should be the only two I'm aware of, are the heat and the breath timers. And both, if you know what a full heart is, then you could just multiply 8 by a quarter to get the partial hearts. So you know how much time you've got left. But every whole heart you have is 8 seconds on the clock for your breath and heat timers. Now, we have a section that I think is tricky even for... I would say it's tricky for veterans or speedrunners, but this even gave some people that I would have expected to have an easy time with the puzzle kind of a hard time. And I definitely suffered my first time with the puzzle. We're just going to stand over here. What we want to do, we want to make our travel time as easy as possible. So we're definitely going to be blowing up all these boulders. You do not have to. The only boulder I think you really have to blow up is this one right here. The rest of them, you can kind of do like whatever. We're going to wait for our next boulder to come through, and then what we're going to want to do is get over to the left-hand side as soon as possible. We have already failed. We have already failed. So actually, there's a reason this crevice is here. This crevice is here because you need to actually follow this boulder. You cannot, no matter how much you sit in that right-hand passage, you cannot make it up there. Don't do this. I'll take some damage when throwing away that bomb. No matter how much you want to stand off to the right-hand side, you will never make it in time if you carry the bomb. You literally have to go up there, sit in the crevice, follow the boulder down, grab the bomb flower, throw it back up near that clay wall, and that is how you get out. And here we are at the mountains. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to open up our shortcut and the next dungeon, and I think we're going to go ahead and call it early. I normally stream for four full hours, but I don't think we're going to have the time to go through the dungeon. I'm fairly quick about it, but Dodongo's Cavern has a little more clever tricks in it. In terms of how to obtain everything inside. A lot more tricks. And I want to have plenty of time to demonstrate that next Tuesday. Yeah, my plan is normally to go 4 hours. But I've been trying to find some more clever stopping places as of late. I hope people don't mind that I'm cutting the stream off a bit short. And I hope everyone's had a good time while they're here. These Gwei love harassing you as you're making your way up the cliff face here. There is a heart here as well. You can throw Deku Nuts, but they will not stun the Gwei. They will instead just make them turn the other direction for a brief moment. They're rather resistant to the Deku Nuts. I'm not letting you harass me any further. This particular method of unlocking Dodongo's Cavern is the only one with a boulder like this, so I could just come out and say it. You want to come along and open it. All you have to do is just... Not that. Don't do that. That's a waste of a bomb flower, everyone. You could just throw it forward. Wow. Coin fails the stream, everyone. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. You can just take the damage, and that will, You can even just set the bomb on the ground there. They have some generous hitboxes. Here we are in Dodongo's Cavern, after lots of time has passed, where the lava has become sand, supposedly, or dirt. This is a big place. And just like in the Forest Grotto, there's a crossover between floors up here as well. There's going to be a kind of a soft theme with that. There's lots of crossover between floors. I'm going to leave you guys with this. I want to thank everyone so much for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. Again, I realize I am cutting the stream a little bit early, but we do not have enough time for me to beat this unless I just don't talk the entire time, and that's not a fun streaming experience. I want us to be able to discuss the dungeons, to discuss everything else going on with the dungeons, because there's a lot to unpack. There's a lot of lore to consider. Like, did the Deku Tree die? And that's what's going on in the Forest Grotto? Is this like forward in the future a certain number of years in Ocarina of Time, or is this like an alternate universe, an alternate retelling? And this is what happens kind of when, you know, the hero's efforts are temporary at best and they're not permanent. Like centuries long permanent, but like decades long permanent. There's a difference. We'll have the time to unpack that a little bit more next Tuesday. Before I let you guys go for the day, I will do some shout-outs. If you guys want a break from this, you guys want some challenge run stuff, I highly recommend checking out Gino Machino. He's a super relaxed streamer. He is doing God Run practice today. God Run just refers to multiple FromSoft or Soulsborne games in a single sitting. And kind of like challenge running the trilogy, same deal. But with the entire series. And it appears that the overlays are not working the way I intended. But you can find those on Twitch. The second guy I'll do a shout out for, his name is The Happy Hob. He is also doing the God Run. 7 games back to back, no hits. I can't believe something has not worked with the interface, and I'm trying to also keep an eye on this. Earth. It's not the alerts. It's something else, but I can't care about that right now. Anyway, that'll do it. My name is Coin, or Swirling Vortex, or Steven. I shielded at you in the midway point, so I'm not going to do it again. You guys know that I have links. Check the About Me section on my page. It has everything you could ask for, and I'm always willing to answer questions on it. If you're like, hey, I don't want to click on this link, what does it do? I'm more than happy to answer that. We'll be streaming tomorrow on Twitch with some more Mass Effect. We're going to begin the modded Chocolate Renegade playthrough. That should be a lot of fun. So if you do want to see that, and you're here for Zelda content today, consider leaving a follow. That's it. That's a tiny bit of shilling I'm going to do. Otherwise, you guys are welcome in my hallowed halls anytime. Stay safe out there. It's a dangerous place, the real world. And with that, I will see you guys around. Take care, and bye-bye.